up and running.
Evening, Tracy. You got enough room over there? I've got 45 seconds. Is it working? Is it on?
We don't have the second camera though. No. That's all right.
Good choice.
Good evening and welcome to the October 7th, 2025 Fort Scott City Commission meeting. Clerk, please take the roll.
Dylan Olson,
Here.
Matthew Wells, Tracy Dancer,
Here.
Catherine Salisbury,
Here.
Tim Van Hookey.
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City Manager, if you would, please.
Please bow your head if you wish. Oh, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together. Give us wisdom, clarity, and unity as we discuss and make decisions. Help us to listen well, speak kindly, and work with purpose. In your Heavenly Father, Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Brad. Okay, approval of the agenda. Item 4, you can see that there it's been amended at the top. Is there any questions on the agenda, additions, or comments?
No. Motion that we accept the agenda as presented.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes. Okay, item 5, consent agenda. Questions, comments, or concerns? Brad, anything you want to add to that?
No, good, thank you.
So on item C, it says that they were supposed to do down to 4 inches. And over on Lee Circle, they only did that one little section to 4 inches. And then I think y'all had them stop because there was nothing below that.
They were getting into the base.
Yes, sir. So we should receive some sort of credit then for not.
As for with their contract, they go down 4 inches. And since we stopped them from damaging the base, we still have to pay them that cost.
Even though they didn't do that work.
Because it's not that far of a section. So the reason we stopped them is they tore up our base. So yeah, that's the contract we signed before they got here.
Okay. So even though they didn't do 4 inches, we're paying them for 4 inches.
Yeah, they went down as far as they could go until we stopped them.
Right.
So I mean, 4 inch, 2 inch, if they would have went 4 inch, they would have done more damage than what they did.
Yes, no, I fully understand that. It's the fact that they did what would be considered half of the work, so we should have received some kind of discount if they only did 2 inches of the 4 inches that they were contracted to do. So,
What would you have said would have been the distance of the section that wasn't 4 inch?
I would have had to put a tape measure because it would have been all the rest of Lee Circle minus that one little strip.
That was on the side? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the road curved so much.
Right, because they
I mean,
didn't.
they took the 4 inches out where they could possibly take the 4 inches. And when you do that, 4 inches is not, the road's crowned. So a mill goes even. When we're doing asphalt, we have control of how you can crown it.
Right.
A milling machine does not. So when they say they're gonna take out 4 inches, it doesn't mean they're gonna take out 4 inches from side to side. They're gonna take out 4 inches from the top of the crown. See what I'm saying? I guess hope I'm saying that correctly.
I do. I understand. I believe what you're saying. My question, still on several sections, it never even got below the curb and gutter, so that where they milled, it's just level with the curb and gutter. So,
Because they got into the
Correct.
base. But if you'd have seen the road before, it was well above the curb. The asphalt was. So where they took it, they went all the way down to the base. And what we'll have to do is, their milling machine they don't rip up the base
yes.
because they don't want to rip up anything that's underneath the base.
Yes, sir.
Like fiber and stuff like that.
Yes, sir. No, I'm understanding of that. I've worked over there on Lee Circle many times. I know that asphalt on one side was about a half inch above the gutter, and on the other side wasn't much above an inch above the gutter. So they really only took off an inch on Lee Circle. So that's my question, was were they going to give us some sort of discount for not having done 4 inches off of Lee Circle?
If you would like me to go talk to them about that, I can.
I guess my only question on that would be, if they had said, hey, we're contracted to do 4 inches, they would have potentially damaged a lot of stuff.
They would have damaged a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And that difference maybe in the discount, would it have been more or less if they did go ahead and say, hey, we're supposed to do 4 inches? And say, hey, that's the base and there's stuff under there. I says, don't care, we got to do 4 inches. I mean, that's my question. I don't know what that difference would be if they had done 4 inches and then we had to have the base repaired. So if that's something that Commissioner Wells wants to have city manager check on, that's fine. But again, I can see both sides of the equation of someone going, hey, 4 inches or we don't get paid, and, everything be damned if we get into the base and just some other stuff. It would be my only concern on that.
I have one comment, Brad, for the approval of the appropriation ordinance, expense approval report. Commissioner Wells and I have asked for a different format and make it easier to review that data. Can we start getting that?
You were supposed to come back in and talk to us more about that.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
I'll come see you.
We're waiting on you.
All righty.
Yeah, in fact, he shared it with me. I think it looks nice.
Okay.
But I do recall him saying that there was more discussion to take.
Not a problem. I'll come see you.
Okay.
All right. With that, any other
All right.
motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Second.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
No.
Matthew Wells.
No.
Okay. Item 6, public comment. Mr. Michael J. Hoyt. Good evening, Michael.
Good evening. As you all might well imagine, it's very difficult to deal with the U.S. government today, closed or open. They're difficult. Just share a little story. Second thing on my would not make me happy list of the air traffic controller is you're not going to pay me. First on the list is the coffee's cold. That was a joke.
I'm laughing on the inside.
Okay. Along those same lines, I am available every Wednesday from 10 to 2 at HBCAT at 104 North National to assist any veteran or their family that needs assistance with compensation claims, et cetera. Leading up to Veterans Day, of course, which is the 11th of next month. I've also been made aware that the Kansas City VA now has a Fisher House, and that is equivalent to the Ronald McDonald houses that they have around. Now, if a veteran is having a procedure or there is a place for their family, and if you've ever been to the Kansas City VA, which I have, you wind around to get to the top of the hill. About halfway up the hill is the Fisher House. These pictures are fantastic.
Is that the KCMO?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Kansas City, right? And it's available for, you could stay there if your family member is having a procedure at the hospital. Or they actually say if they're having a procedure at another hospital and they're a veteran, you can still stay there. So just want to make everyone aware, and come and see me on Wednesday from 10 to 2. Keep in mind, that's 2 hours before my normal work day, but I'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. All right, item 7, appearances. Item A, Lindsay Hill, frame grant, request for assistance with infrastructure and surveying a property. And commissioners, if you didn't see it, I believe city clerk or somebody provided us an additional item behind the agenda.
Yeah, that was from the land that was
Yep.
originally donated.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Hill. I am overseeing the grants at the college, and on behalf of FSCC and the Frame Grant opportunity for our construction trades students, we would like to come to the commission and ask if you'd be willing to provide up to $40,000 for the donated land that we will have for this project. It's on Block 8, Southside Park Addition, located in Fort Scott. If you want to know where that is, it's directly across from the college, where the old
RV park.
Thank you. Used to be located.
Okay, so the 40,000 is not, you're not asking for that in cash, you're asking for that in infrastructure support.
Correct. Sorry, I didn't make that clear. Yes.
Just clarifying.
And that piece of land has a significant amount of infrastructure under it, so what infrastructure do you believe will be needed?
I'm not sure at this time. I know that they are getting the land surveyed. The donor of the land is getting it surveyed, so we should have a better idea. But we're just asking up to 40,000, so not for 40,000 so the cost of whatever that would take to finish that
Is
off.
the plan still that there'll be 2 houses done initially and then another 2 houses?
So right now we are just required to have, so we're going to be doing duplexes on that. So we will do 1 duplex, which will have 2 housing units, and then the following year do another duplex.
Okay,
Correct.
Infrastructure, we went out and looked at it. They'll need a fire hydrant because there's not a fire hydrant in that area. Plus water, stormwater, sewer, it's all needs upgraded because it's old, and going into the trailer court wasn't that good. So there's some pretty significant work that we'll have to do.
That's all stuff we can do in-house, though?
We'll do our part, yeah. It'll be more than 40,000, I can tell them that.
Okay.
Yeah, they know that.
okay.
Now, last time this came before us, I wasn't here that night, but our city manager said it'll be more than 40,000. And if you're looking at possibly 2 duplexes in the next 2 years, is that a wise city investment?
Well, they're asking only for us to go up to 40,000.
Up to,
Yeah.
but you just said it could be
Oh, it's
higher than that. I
gonna
mean,
be higher than that.
So the
They're gonna
owner,
cover
the owner is willing to pay for the rest of the infrastructure, and they're going to be building the same duplexes that we are building on the rest of that land. So that will be a whole addition of duplexes.
I mean, I initially supported it even the time before this when there was a little confusion, but I'm looking at, yeah, you get 2 houses, but the city's gonna spend 40, possibly more
I think she's
Make it
saying we're
happen.
actually getting more than 2 duplexes because the property owner is going to extend,
Correct. They're going to
Duplexes
continue
on
building
their-
the same duplexes that we build all the way through that
which is
property.
similar to what the previous person that
But
was
also
offering
what
the
I'm getting
property was
at
gonna do.
into is last time when we said this came and I wasn't here, and then the next meeting after, we took it back and we said, well, next time bring us more information, have a plan. So here tonight, are we just gonna wing it again?
So do you want to ask us any questions? Like, we have the layout of the duplexes, we have the timeline of them, if you just want to ask the questions.
I don't know if she's completely winging it because she's actually got a developer.
We have a developer. We have to get the land deeded to us, and we have to wait for the survey for that. Once that is done, then we will put out the RFP for the contractors to have a contract for it, and then we will move forward.
How many lots are they going to donate to you?
So they'll donate us two lots. So again, one lot for the first duplex, and then another lot for the second duplex the second year.
And that, okay.
Brad, do we have any estimates worked up for what it's going to take to refit the infrastructure over
It'll
there?
probably be around 100,000, I do believe is what Bill was saying. But again, we're only held to 40,000, up to 40,000.
So then I'm assuming the developer that's going to do the rest of the duplexes is going to handle the infrastructure for the other residences.
Correct.
What I'm trying to get at is, yeah, it seems like a good investment for $100,000. You're getting new houses, whatnot, but for $100,000, you can also create a whole new grant program for people who are refurbishing houses. So,
I think the developer, if I know who the developer is giving you the money, is already have several properties in Fort Scott
That's correct.
of old houses that he's rehabilitating at this time.
He's doing several rehabilitations and new builds.
Yeah.
Now, when this project was originally brought to us, they were going to do the first 2 houses, and then with the money made on those, continue the
Correct.
program in the same area. But if they're only giving you 2 lots, and then they're going to build the rest of the duplexes, where
So we're only held,
continuation?
good question. So we're only held to the 2 years with them, and then from then on, we plan to continue our construction trades, whether it's with them or with another developer. But the plan is to keep this project going for our students, to continue building houses or refurbishing houses after the 2 years. That's really where we would like to be with this project. So the plan is just to continue that on after these first 2 initial builds that we have to have for the grant.
Which one, it's 2 homes. Sorry. We went back and they pivoted with us. So 1 duplex equals 2 homes, if that makes sense.
I fully support it. I just, as one commissioner, I am no longer supporting blank motions where we don't have some agreement in front of us.
Well, would you like the developer to maybe
I
come into
would
the next meeting?
absolutely like that.
Would he be available to do that?
I can definitely ask,
I
yes.
would like something on paper.
Yeah. Good on.
Do you, can I give you this?
Well, I'm talking about agreements wise where, yeah, the city will commit to helping you, but just as we're helping the college, we're also now helping a private developer on top of that, which is fine, but they should come in here and at least talk to the city manager and we get something on ink where we're not just sitting here making a motion and committing
Absolutely.
resources to them. They're actually committing something to the city as well.
Okay.
Well, would you like to make a motion to table it to the meeting on the 21st and a request for the developer to come in here? And then if you'd like to have some type of agreement working with Bob?
Absolutely. I would move to table the frame grant until the meeting on the 21st. And ideally have the developer come in or get with city manager to discuss, similar discussions as we do for anyone that comes in here asking for money essentially.
Now, I don't know the developer personally. I know of a lot of his work. As far as the rehab side of it goes, for what he's doing in town, if he would feel like it, I'd like him to bring in a list of the properties that he's rehabbing or he's finished rehabbing so that we can get an idea of his work and how much he's doing here.
Okay.
Is there a second to the motion from Commissioner Olson?
I'll second.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer.
Yes.
All right, item B. Rachel Carpenter, temporary park closure, Haunting of Belltown, October 31st, 2025, 6 PM to November 1st at 11 PM.
Hello, Commissioners. So we are partnering with the Chamber, FSCC, Fort Scott Library, and some community members to put on the Haunting of Belltown, well, to bring it back at the Riverfront South Loop. So we want to close down the park so that we don't have any traffic going through, because we will have hay rides, an outdoor movie, and then a haunted walking trail. We are going to have transportation through the trolley from Twisted Trailers parking lot to the park.
Yeah, I saw your application in the packet. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or is there a motion?
Motion that we approve the closure requested for the Haunting of Belltown.
Seconded.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel.
Item C, Chief Bruner, Fort Scott Fire Department, acceptance of AFG grant exhaust removal system and proceed with bid process and project completion.
Good evening. So we were notified last week, we were awarded the 2024 Assistance to Firefighters Grant for exhaust removal systems to be installed in both of our fire stations. We currently have we have one in each station that are 17 and 18 years old. Parts aren't able to be, one's not even working at all, and the other one, the parts, you can't get parts anymore. So we were able to get the grant for this. It's a 95-5 grant. We were awarded $106,571.42. Our 5% match will be $5,328.58. So total for the grant will be $111,900. So I'm just asking for approval to accept that grant and begin the process towards completing the project.
Is that enough to get your project done?
Yep.
Nice.
Any questions for Chief Bruner? All right. I would move to approve the acceptance of the AFG grant exhaust removal system and proceed with the bid process and project completion with the city portion of that grant being just over $5,300.
Seconded.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Item D, TUSA radio encryption system Phase 1 assessment. Chief Pickard, Fort Scott Police Department.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
So tonight, I think some of you have already done a little bit of your own research on this encryption requirement. But just to give you a little bit of background, in 2022, the FBI mandated that personal identifying information be protected. So what that means is information we give to and from dispatch that could be used to identify people that we're talking to be protected. And there's several ways to do that. One of those is through encrypted radio transmissions. Timeline was given that the states would be audited by the FBI, and then the KBI or KHP would come and audit the local agencies. Where we go from here is a little bit vague. We don't even have our audit scheduled. But what they've kind of told us is that we need to be showing progress towards protecting this information somehow, some way. So even without this requirement, there are some safety concerns with our radio system, that there's areas throughout the county that the deputies have a hard time getting out, talking to dispatch. We have places in town, certain buildings, such as our own office or the hospital, where we can't broadcast out of all the time. So even without the encryption, we kind of need this step to kind of figure out how we fix those issues and make it safer for officers and firefighters and EMTs. So with that, I'll just kind of open up the questions. I gave you guys quite a bit of information. I'm sure you diligently hung on every word and lots for me.
Yeah, Chief, and I'll start. I just recently started into the land of LMR, land mobile radio, and encrypted communications and whatnot. Now, it's my understanding that the requirement is for law enforcement.
Correct.
Right, to protect PII for suspects,
Correct.
people related to cases.
Yep.
Now, what was provided to the commission says that, Fort Scott's share is $19,608 of the total cost of phase one at $32,680. Now, based on an even split among the five first responder agencies. Now, there's only two of those that are law enforcement: Sheriff County, Sheriff's Department, and the city police. Yeah. Now, there's no requirement for the other three, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, dispatch, they're kind of part of it. I mean, everything we say goes through them anyway, so.
Okay. That's true. However, we point of contention, dispatch is still the county's responsibility. Now, the area of Fort Scott is about 5.9 square miles. And the area of Bourbon County is 639 square miles. We don't even represent 1%. But we have the lion's share of this cost. This is just for phase one. Has anybody talked about that?
Not specifically the landmass that we cover, but the calls for service, it's pretty much 60% city, police, and fire.
Yeah, but I'll go back to, hey, we're all Bourbon County residents. We all pay Bourbon County taxes. So the idea we would be supplementing more to Bourbon County is it's fair because, we have an even distribution of people in and out of the city throughout the county, roughly. But again, was this a proposal did we consider this?
No.
No.
This was actually brought up, and I watched the meeting in a county commission meeting.
Uh-huh.
And at that time, they were discussing it, and their plan was to come to the city for a chunk of money. I didn't think it was going to be the lion's share of the money, just for the initial evaluation. But I know that some of the pricing to have this done, and I'm not saying it doesn't have to be done, but I think what they presented in there in some cases, I may be wrong, I'm old, but I thought I heard numbers like $1.6 million and stuff like that to upgrade the entire system for other counties that they had done this at.
I'm hearing a lot of astronomical numbers also.
Yeah, and
but I really
like I
had
said,
no idea.
At that point, it was being presented by the county sheriff to the county commission. With this initial evaluation that needed to be done, was they were planned on coming to the city for a portion of it. To me, it kind of looks a little bit like that number leaned a little bit more our way, keeping in mind, Commissioner Dancer's right, we are all Bourbon County citizens, but the amount of square miles we have to cover compared to what they need to cover their district, and with dispatch being their responsibility.
Yeah.
Well, it's also a division of, when you actually get to phase three and you start buying equipment, we're going to have a lot more radios than the county does.
Yeah. Sure.
Just because we have more people that use them.
And don't get me wrong, I support, the county first responders. look in the back of the room, I see a county deputy sitting back there right now, and those guys do a great job. But the next question I would have is going out and do a little research. I know that both the state of Kansas and the federal government does have grants available for this encryption upgrade to the radios. Has anybody at the county or at the city reached out and investigated any of those programs yet?
That is something we had, like I said in the letter, we've had several meetings with all 5 of us agencies, and that's been asked, but nobody's had any information to provide in those meetings. I can't say I've done any independent research on it, but nobody that I've spoken to has been aware of any available grants. We've had people come from the state to give information on it, and nobody's really aware of any public funding for this. I would think it would be provided, usually when.
Oh, yeah, I Googled it. I Googled it in like 2 minutes, and
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 different things popped up, including the state of Kansas.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if any of those grants might apply to the evaluation phase, but to me, I think it bears asking and looking at before we just come in and tell the taxpayers we're going to write a check. I mean, I know the radios have to be done. There's privacy information and all kinds of stuff like that.
Well, I mean, that's mitigated right now. How do you mitigate that right now?
We really don't.
They don't.
Well, use cell phones. Yeah.
Well, you
For some
can,
items.
but it's not always ideal. It depends on the situation you're in. If you can't step back, we probably should be in, but we're not. There are some things we could do differently, but right now we're operating the way we always have.
Okay.
But just in the opinion of one commissioner, I'd like to know for these upfront fees, since there apparently is grant funds that are available out there from both state and federal, can we pursue that? What would the timeline be? If the timeline's not going to work out, that we've got to get it done now because the grant evaluation time, but I did watch the entire meeting over there and have done a bit of research myself, and I appreciate what you put in our agenda packet. If I have any trouble sleeping tonight, that was a lot of information, but I read all the way through it.
I appreciate. I apologize because I was looking through what I made a copy of, and it wasn't all there. So
who's taking the lead on this now? I mean, is the lead being taken by the county still, or has it been handed off to you?
Sheriff Martin has taken the lead on this the whole way. I think it's a little more important to him at this point than it is to the police department because of the concerns I've talked about with the countywide, dead spots where they can't necessarily.
Yeah.
He has more safety concerns because his guys are a little more independent and out on their own than our guys in town. I probably would have waited until we got audited by the state to really start this process, but there's nothing wrong with getting ahead of it either.
We're not getting audited. When do you think we'll start getting audited?
I have no idea. I asked Lou Howard if she had been given any kind of timeline, and she didn't have one. I emailed 2 ladies with the state today to get more information on all this, and they gave me no indication of when our audit would be scheduled. There's 105 counties, and they just got audited earlier this year. I think there's only a couple of them that do the audit, so they're pretty spread thin.
Have you spoken with any local counties or other nearby cities to know if what we do is comparative to what they are still doing, or if they're ahead of the game in this?
I think Lynn County has made some improvements. I couldn't tell you the extent of what they've done, but, it's terrain-based, a lot of it, that they're going to give us. So our terrain isn't going to be identical to Lynn County. So what they did may not work for us, but it may work perfectly. I don't know. But I know they've made some improvements, but I couldn't tell you everything they've done.
Commissioner Olson, I can see if I can find the date if you want to go. It was Lynn County that they discussed at the county meeting.
Yeah, I was at that meeting.
And there's a lot of good information you can pick up from.
I haven't had a chance to watch it. I don't.
Well,
The county meetings anymore can be rather.
I don't either, but this one was one that I wanted to watch because I knew this.
Brad and I
topic
went
was
to
on
that
there.
one.
And as Commissioner Dancer's new career, upgrading of radios is not cheap.
No,
It's
it's not.
cheap.
That was one reason I
I was-
wanted Chief Pickard to come, because Sheriff Martin went to the county.
Yeah.
And already got approval. So I told Chief Pickard, hey, we probably better at least let the 5 of you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was,
Start getting,
And I understand it's mandated and it's got to be done, but if we can mitigate some of the costs through any type of a grant program or at least look into that, I think it's,
Well, when you speak of $1.5 million, I could envision that for the county if they have to start building 10 towers.
well, I mean,
cover
the
it.
mandate right now is for law enforcement. This is a Justice Department mandate, right? So it's
FBI
for
mandate.
continued access to the National Crimes Database and stuff like that, right? So, have you talked to any other similar-sized municipalities in Kansas to see how they're attacking this one?
I have not.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, just, they do that because, next time Bob gets pulled over, we can't all hear on the scanners what he's been up to. Mm-hmm. Right.
It's on purpose.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I have a police scanner at home, and you're absolutely right. I mean, I can hear whatever information I want to hear. Because usually if we hear a bunch of sirens going around, my wife clicks it on and goes, ooh, I wonder what's going on. But yeah, I understand the need for it. I'd just like to make sure that we just don't start throwing money at it. And I know you don't want us to either.
Yeah.
I'm not shooting the messenger by no means. You guys
Yeah.
do a great job. But I mean, let's see what we can do to make it less painful for
I think that's
everybody.
one of the reasons we kind of drug our feet, because it's
Yeah.
budgeted money, and I like to be ahead of things and know what I'm going to spend my money on last year, not last minute this year. So
Sure.
I kind of we did drag our feet for that reason. So
So would you like to look into the grants possibly and come to the next
do
meeting?
that. Yep, not a problem.
Could you also check with some of the other similar-sized municipalities, see kind of how they're skinning the cat?
Yep.
I'd
I
appreciate it.
mean, I know this TUSA was something that the county worked on, and I know that, I don't think they have to go out for bid for stuff like that.
Well,
So,
so I sat in on the meeting with TUSA. They also got bids from 2 other companies that
okay,
I put in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they came to Fort Scott to meet with. I think it might have all been done on Zoom, and they would just the proposals when considered in totality. TUSA was the one we was all most comfortable with, even though they weren't
Okay.
the cheapest. But
They were
weren't the
very
most
comprehensive.
expensive.
yeah, I wasn't aware of that. All I saw was that's who they actually physically had at their meeting that night.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
So with phases 1 and 2, we would be looking at around $50,000 at the current spending.
And that's
Cut.
just to get the bids,
Yeah.
just to get it basically engineered what we need, and then get the bids.
While the county would be spending less than 30.
Now, I haven't done the math on all that, but for phase 1, I could tell you, what we talked about in the meeting was splitting it 5 ways. And, if you guys disagree with that, I'm not gonna sit here and pound the table that this is a great, best way to do it, but that's what we agreed to in the meeting.
Right.
So that's what I proposed. But I'll go look at grants and comparable cities.
Mr. Hoyt?
At the county meeting, TUSA handed out considerable information, which included references of local municipalities that they were working with now. And if they did not share that with you, I would be happy to meet with them.
I think their proposal has
A list in it. I know Overland Park is using them.
And they are headquartered in Liberty, Missouri.
that is another thing. They are somewhat local compared to the other companies. So
Okay.
there's a lot more access to them.
So I would move to table this until the October 21st meeting and give Chief Pickard an opportunity to check this other information.
A second.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer.
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Chief, for everything you and your guys do.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay, item E. Trey Sharp, good old days, and I think he might have a committee with him. Silent committee, they're just going to sit there in the back.
All right, I'm here, part of the Good Old Days Committee. I came here with concerns about the food truck license and the food truck vendor fees that was been implemented. However, I saw this proposed ordinance, and I kind of gave me a lot more relief in this issue of potentially charging food trucks with having to pay and get a license on top of having to pay the vendor fee on top of For Good Old Days, and not even just Good Old Days, any event that goes on throughout the county. So at this point, I'm really just wanting to confirm with this resolution that's being proposed that in the exemption part of it, the not-for-profit organizations would include Good Old Days or any other type of event that goes on in the city.
That's up for their discussion later.
Yeah, I was just, is there any way that you feel that this additional fee to Good Old Days
It
would impact it negatively or
For sure,
positively?
especially if you're making it to where non-local food trucks have to pay this and the local ones don't. I would say a lot of majority of the food trucks that we get in at Good Old Days would be non-local. They're already paying a fee to come to Good Old Days, and these events drawing thousands of people to Fort Scott, that brings in sales tax into the city. So I think if you were going to hit them on another side to have to pay more on top of the fee just to come to Good Old Days, because that vendor fee is what brings Good Old Days and all the entertainment into Good Old Days. So us having to continually raise prices for these vendors to come in is going to push people away, in my opinion. So I would like to just make it aware, if you were to put in this ordinance for food trucks, make it to where there's exemptions to any type of event throughout the city, whatever, Care to Shares events, the fair, Good Old Days, Fort Fest, Pioneer Harvest, all those, any type of events that would be exempted from that point.
We'll consider that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trey.
Thank you.
Just make sure you understand, this is a rough draft.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
What I put in there.
Yeah.
This is what I was asked to do, so I just made a rough draft, and hopefully you've read it, and you can do whatever.
Okay.
This is just basically a roadmap to get you started to what you want to do.
Section 8, unfinished business, consideration of small business grant applications. I don't imagine Mary is here.
She had a soccer game, so I'll take that on.
She playing soccer?
Yes, started this year. So, small business grant applications, we've got, I know 3 people are here for that. You should have in your packet.
Sorry, were we supposed to call on somebody first?
Yes, but after he.
Oh, I'm so sorry, okay.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
So, in your packet, you should have the application, a rubric, and then let them explain, their version of what it's gonna be used for, what, things like that. Just let them give basically their business plan of what they're wanting the money for. And so,
Okay.
if you wanna call them out, you sure can.
Well, I'm not going to call him
will
out.
tell you this.
I'll ask him to speak. I'm
I will
not going
tell
to
you
call him
this,
out.
the first one, Shelley Bradley's not here.
Okay.
Okay. So first person, and I know this individual, and we appreciate her time, has to get home to little ones. Kaylee Clifton?
Thank you. I appreciate you letting me go first, too. Hi, my name is Kaylee Clifton. I'm the owner and the doctor at Clifton Chiropractic. You guys these samples. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I've been in practice for about 10 years. I've been practicing here in Fort Scott since 2019. And what I'm requesting is grant money to purchase new signage and new brands for my building, or for my business, sorry. I'm requesting that the city funds $6,000. I will match the 25%. To cover $8,000 worth of new signs. I started my business here in Fort Scott in 2019. I had a little reservation on if it was going to go well or not, so I kind of went the safe route. I signed a 1-year lease. I got a sign that was pretty basic so that if I needed to sell it later, then I could. That quickly was not the issue at all. Since arriving, I've been welcomed by everyone. Fort Scott has been very good to me, and my business has continued to grow over the last 6 years. One thing that I hear all the time, though, is that I didn't even know you were there. I didn't see that sign. I mean, I've heard that for years now, and I've been, like I said, been here for 6 years. So what I would like that sign to provide is just my name recognition on that for sure. And then to also move my old sign over to the opposite side of my building, and so that we can have more sign coming off of that 69 highway. 69 highway obviously has a lot of great advertisement driving down the road. I'm not sure what the number is of how many cars drive down there a day, but I've heard it before, and it's extremely high. Starting in 2019, I started with a part-time employee. I now employ 3 full-time employees. I have an office manager. I have a chiropractic assistant, and then this year I also added an associate doctor with my practice. So I am providing more jobs to the community. I would like to continue to grow my business. And by that, I also need to grow my practice. So the more advertising I can have for my practice with that sign, the more that hopefully I can provide back to the community as well by being able to provide more jobs to the community. I also have ties to stay in the city. My husband and I purchased the building in 2021 when I decided I want to be here forever. That's my goal. I don't plan on going anywhere. Unless something crazy happens, this is where I'll be staying. So we have purchased the building, and we also have rentals in the community, in the city as well. So we definitely have ties to give back to the community. I know they were talking about housing earlier and providing reasonable housing to people. So like I said, for this sign, like I said, it would be the fees were the sign itself. It would be acrylic, single letters. I think you can see it kind of stands out, that example on there. They stand out a little bit better. I think it will look really nice on my building with that lighter color. I think it'll be easier for people to notice it than before. We can also put lights and things underneath that to make that shine in the at night as well. So those fees would include obviously the cost of the sign, the repair to the building as far as the holes that have been done there before. He'll have to paint match that, fill in any holes, and then his travel expense along with permits and just any other prices that might come up along the way. Do you guys have any questions?
Now, when you say your building, do you own that building?
Yes. Yes, my husband and I purchased in 2021.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so we have the other 3 renters in that building as well. So, and we're wanting to do more updates and things to the building. We've got the third tenant. We've had somebody in there for the last year, so we have all 4. And then I forgot to mention, when we did purchase it, we did put a brand new roof on it. So again, we are returning to the community as much as we can and trying to salvage this building. It's been there, I think, since the 70s, I believe. And so putting that new roof on there was to help manage it and salvage it as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I don't have any questions.
Chiropractors always crack me up.
Nah,
Yes.
I got you. I got your back.
You got my back.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you. Well, you'll find out how it goes. We have other people to go to, but I know you've got to run.
Okay. Do you let us know?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Next up, we have Phil Jackson representing Hercules Hobby.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
I feel like this is deja vu because I've already done this before. My name is Phil Jackson, for those of you who don't know me. Back in May, we opened a sports and card and memorabilia shop in downtown Fort Scott on 20 State Street. At that time, I knew nothing about the business grant. We were full send regardless. Mary gave me a call, let me know about the grant that was going on. And I came to a commission meeting at that time, basically gave a 40,000-foot view of what we're doing. Since May, it's kind of, the internet side it exploded all year. That's what started the store. And we've just been growing ever since. We've been going since May. 3 employees, do a lot on the internet still. I'm meeting a lot of families that I've been here, 16 years now. So I'm actually getting to meet a lot of different people that I really don't know, and I feel like I'm out in the public quite a bit and people know me, but it's kind of cool to bring something for the kids downtown. I know we got a lot of antique shops and various things kids get drugged with their parents into that they really don't want to be at, and that's not the case in our building. So what I plan, I think everybody's probably seen the rubric and what my plans are if we were to get the grant, but we want to, there's about 650 square foot on the west back of the building that we're considering putting like some stand-up arcade video games back there, some TVs, chairs, just some things to get parents to bring their kids in there more, to hang out a little bit longer and spend some more money. So you did see also in my data that a lot of the sales dollars that have come in are through a platform on our websites, and when business comes in that way, the sales tax they collect. So we're wanting to try to get a lot of, and these funds are getting pretty significant, but I'd like that tax dollars to go through our store and move a lot of the internet business into the store. So anybody got any questions for me? Feel like I've been here before.
I've driven by several times, and I don't know who was there or not, but what are your hours? How many days a week?
We're open 3 days a week now,
3 days a
primarily. Yeah, Thursday evening, Friday evening, and then most of the day on Saturday. The internet stuff that we do is in the evening time, so we're not open during the public then. There's a lot of inventory re-up that happens, as you can imagine, after 3 full days. So we spend a lot of time in the evening kind of revamping our inventory and then making shipments that go out. We probably do 250 to 300 shipments a week right now that have to get processed during closing hours, so a lot going out.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
With this, would this expand your days a week?
Well, our plan was to start kind of small and grow as we grow, continue to go. So we do plan, especially in the summertime when the kids aren't in school, because primarily our customers are kids. You know, there's some people that are in the hobby as well that are older, but as the summertime comes, I could see us going 4 to 5 days a week.
Any other questions for Mr. Jackson? All right, thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then last, we have Henry Witt for H. Witt Fabrication.
Good evening, Commissioners. How are you guys? So our business is a fabrication business located here in Fort Scott, and we are requesting funds for a fixture table. I attached a stock photo of a fixture table in my original application, but I have since found the model that I intend to buy. This fixture table would pretty much just help us increase throughput through the shop. So reducing amount of time fixturing parts, setting up one-off builds, and reducing the amount of time that we're spending on projects, which would ultimately save our customers money. We do a lot of business here in the community. I've been a welder now for 10 years. And so I've been doing side projects the entire time. I started in high school, paid my way through welding school with side projects, and then now I'm doing this full time. So we have a 300 square foot shop in my backyard. and the table is going to be pretty much our rock that all of the projects are built on. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Other than that, you guys have the business plan, I think. So, yeah.
Do we have the business plan?
No, we have the business plan, yes.
If you would like a copy of the business plan.
Oh, we'll get it from Brad. Okay.
When you say reduced time, I'm just like an approximate, like if, I have no idea how long a welding project takes. So if you could give me some ideas on like what it is currently versus what it would be.
So for an example, I've been doing some work for the new Artificers Art Gallery. I recently did a handrail for the top of their spiral staircase, and all of my layout and fixturing had to happen on the floor of my shop because my welding table currently is not big enough. So, you know, I still hold myself to a high degree of precision work, but it's a lot harder to do on an unlevel surface. So this would allow us to reduce our time by, I think the estimations are 30 to 40% reduction in time, and then you can also have multiple parts fixtured on the table depending on the size of your project. So.
Okay, and so I take it you are either turning away work that you can't do now, or there's just a backlog. That's basically.
We have a large backlog of
Okay.
some larger fabrication projects here in town. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Any other questions for Mr. Witt?
How much was the welding table you're looking at buying?
$10,000.
In the folder there was a price.
Yeah,
I think it
yeah,
was
yeah.
$10,900.
I just did a quick Google search, and every one of them was more expensive than that.
Yes, it is a field where you can spend a lot of money very quickly. I believe that we found the best value for what we need. It has adjustable feet, so I can level it in my shop with unlevel concrete floors, and then you know, we can move it around as well. So,
Henry, what's future plans? Is there a storefront in the future?
absolutely.
Or
So.
stay at home? Is that the future?
Right now, we're a job shop, so we're pretty much doing custom fabrication for people in the community. All of our projects are one-off or very limited runs, but we have full CNC machining capabilities, welding, and other metal fabrication equipment. Our goals for the future is to develop a product line and eventually turn into a manufacturing company that would sell products outside of Fort Scott from a manufacturing facility located in Fort Scott.
Now, you say we, how many employees do you have?
It's me and my wife currently.
Okay.
So, yes.
Two-man team, but we do
Who's-
work 10.
Okay, here's the dangerous question.
Thank you.
Who's the boss? Well, you pointed at each other, so that was nice.
I would say.
Okay. Yep. All right. Any other questions for the Wits? All right, thank you very much.
If the city is not able to give you full funding, do you have the means to still purchase the table if there's some kind of partial funding?
Yes, we're going to purchase the table eventually, whether or not we receive any funding. So this would help us out a lot. It would allow us to do it this year rather than waiting until we finish some of our larger projects and have room for that. So really, yeah, this would do us a great favor in building our company through the projects that we already have on backlog.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Now, I mean, in the packet was the rubric for the fourth candidate, the After Effects Salon, but they don't have a representative here this evening, so we can't.
They'd have to go into the next round.
The next round. Okay. All right. Discussion? Motion?
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy. I just, I'm wondering at the practicality and the utility of small business loans. You know, granted, we do want to foster, you know, small businesses in our community. But I've heard from some of my constituents, and they say, hey, you know, now I haven't seen the business plans, and maybe that's something to consider. But I've had people reach out and say, hey, the small business grants you guys are doing, how does that benefit me as a taxpayer? I mean, instead of shelling out $60,000 a year, could you just lower my taxes a mil? And so, you know, I'm trying to look at this objectively, but also consider for the people who aren't invested in businesses, what they get in return. And it's just something, it's a perspective I'm looking at, because prior to them asking that question, I simply didn't look at it.
What you're saying makes total sense. But you have to look at the other way, is how does the town grow with housing and businesses? But what you're saying makes sense. I mean, if we were lucky, we got, I'd say blessed, we were able to lower the mill and probably still be able to do this, it'd be fine. But next year, it's a whole new ballgame. Every year's a new ballgame. So, you know, a lot of cities give a lot more than what we're giving. And then you have housing incentives. So I totally understand what you're saying is, does this help every citizen? No, but sales tax does.
Sales tax does.
In a roundabout way.
Yeah, it's just a, you know.
And creating extra jobs, then those people go out and spend more money in the community, more money growth. You have, if you create more jobs where people can purchase more houses, then the property taxes get split more evenly, and hopefully the more money that can be brought in through property taxes, that's the only way that we can truly affect a large change in the amount of property taxes that we have to pay as citizens, is by increasing the amount of people who have home ownership in the town and paying into that base as a whole, so it's spread out more evenly.
And I would add to what Commissioner Wells says, in addition to that, I look at the candidates here, and in our small community, all four of these are providing some type of service, whether it's the chiropractor, the hair salon, someplace for the kids to go in the arcade, or someone that can fabricate metal for things that need to be done here and potentially grow outside. So in addition to the items he said, I mean, there is another side of it as well, and the bottom line is supporting business.
I see it similar, you know, you can say it's $60,000 a year, but it's also a part of economic development. And we lost a major employer, what was it, year and a half, 2 years ago now, about right when both you and I started. And our city's tried to get someone back in there, but, you know, I've had conversations where people tell me the way your town is going to thrive isn't the major home run. It's the 10 to 20 employees at a small business and keeping them afloat. So I think these grants are essential. I don't agree with the way we've done it. I made those comments clear when we were doing it, but at the same time, I think it's healthy that we have four businesses wanting our help.
I guess, you know, from the perspective of businesses come and go, as they do. You know, not to be negative, but it's realistic, right? Now, the infrastructure that they occupy, the structures, you know, let's just say structures. Anyway, we have one of our grant applicants, I mean, I guess they own the business, they own the building. They're investing in that structure. It's going to endure whether the business does or not, and I hope that they do. But in the event that they don't, the investment that they're making in that building makes it viable for the next business. And if we're seeking to bring value added to our community, if we are focusing on, hey, let's not prop up a business. We've had people come up to the podium and ask us to help, heck, we've had them ask to help make payroll, but we didn't fund that, right? If we're investing in, if they're investing in the business, that's one thing. If they're investing in the building, fixing things that are wrong with the building, making repairs, even just maintaining, that's value added. Whether they stay in that location or not, they certainly won't if the building crumbles and falls down, right? And we've had that happen.
It's still happening.
Yeah.
And Commissioner, to answer to that point, though, I mean, I agree with you completely. We've had people come to the microphone many times.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the things that helped say, okay, if this is going to happen, we need a process.
Yeah.
And we need to set limitations.
Yeah.
And whether it's quarterly or whenever, put a process in place.
Yeah.
If the budget will afford it.
Oh, yeah, this body, we met, we discussed it, several times.
There's definitely, I understand what you're saying, because I wish we had the dollars to set up $100,000 a year program for 50-year-old homes that people are renovating. There's one right next to me that's been going on, and they gutted the whole thing and are completely redoing it. I wish we could do more of that, not just for the older houses, but also the downtown buildings. But that could be a discussion later on, maybe.
And like I said, the question, the perspective came up just because it was, feedback from somebody who doesn't own a business. Said, hey, I pay my taxes, but what do I get out of this?
Yep.
So.
I mean, I think it might, in another way of looking at it, I've seen people say that about, why do I pay taxes for school? And that's so.
Kids that go to school.
Yeah, I mean, but then that just means that we're living in a community of people that, can read and write. So again, I understand what they're saying. I just think that we all know that it can be tougher to make it in this town, sort of the opposite of like New York or whatever. But, and so when we have these businesses that are committing here and working here, and I feel like this is what we can do to help them stay. And then we have their income, paying into, they're paying in here. It's just, everyone said it all better than me, but this is just how we can help, and then they are in turn helping us. So, copacetic.
Well, we had agreed to the program. Not everyone agreed exactly to how it would be formatted and run. We did have several discussions on it, so unless anybody's got something else they want to add, I would ask that we call the question, see if there's any motions for the candidates.
Well, I would like to see the business plans. They were not.
I believe they were provided to us. It's
Yeah.
just,
Business plans do have financials.
yeah.
And that was the first submission that we got, had the business plans in it.
They have financials.
Yes.
And that goes into public record once it's provided. So
it'd have to be redacted.
So if that's said, then, I mean, these people came in here tonight, and I don't want to rush anything either. I want to make sure Commissioner Dancer's comfortable. So, man, that agenda for the 21st is kind of filling up on us here. If you want to make a motion to get the financials, I've got the ones already that we were provided before. But if you'd like to make a motion to have an opportunity to review it.
Has everybody else on the commission seen them? Seen the business plans?
No, I have not seen the business plans except for.
Okay.
how did you see them if they haven't seen them? If I asked.
I think during one of my Fridays with Brad sessions, you were saying, here's the thing for this month, and I looked at them.
Okay.
I had assumed that everyone else had seen them as well.
You seen them, Dylan?
Let me see here.
I think they were in the agenda.
Well, I thought they were emailed to us as well.
Yes. Yep.
And we were asked not to share them because it had personal information in them. We got them via
I
email.
remember that now. Okay. Okay.
But if you'd like
No, I
more time to review, because obviously one didn't stand out.
well, I mean, we had 3 stand out, actually.
Well, I mean,
Not-
as far in your mind, as far as the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
financials and the business plan.
Well, no, I mean, executing on the intent that, you know, the 5 of us got together and agreed on. You know, we've had, it would be kind of wrong to move the goalposts at this point.
Yeah.
You know, we've had applicants put their bids together. You know, they've come in, they've asked, they've followed the rules. You know, I feel kind of bad that, you know, one of the applicants wasn't here to represent, to answer questions.
Well, first
But-
quarter of next year,
Yeah.
it'll happen again. And it was about positive, but correct me if I'm wrong, Brad, it was $60,000, $15,000 per quarter.
Yeah, 15,000 per
Yeah,
quarter.
15 right now to spend.
Yeah, it was up to $10,000 per
Yes.
award, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I wouldn't mind revisiting the max amount, but we've had, you know, 3 applicants, and this is an ongoing, you know, kind of living, breathing, you know, process. I would motion that we fund the 3 applicants presented this evening, each at 50% of the requested amount. I think it
So,
was
It was
5, and 3.
10,000, 10,000, and 6,000.
Right.
So you'd be funding $13,000.
Yeah.
And that's your motion?
That's my motion.
A second.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
So then that 2,000 now will carry over to
Yeah.
the next year, so it'd be 17,000 then, unless we
60 yeah,
revisit the
62,000.
amount.
Yeah.
All right, yes.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Yes.
Well, on this first round of doing this, folks didn't get exactly what they needed, but hopefully what you did get will help. And we appreciate the fact that you do have a business here in town, and we hope that all of them grow and is very successful.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, you mean you don't want to stay for the rest of this? Item B, consideration of Second Amendment to ER funding agreement approved by Bourbon County Commission September 8, 2025, tabled from September 16, 2025. Bob, when I looked through this, correct me if I'm wrong, the change to it was simply the requirement from reporting to the county and the city
Yes,
from the good folks at Freeman.
yes,
And that's really it. I mean, it's
that's it.
that we're saying we expect
Yeah.
this information from
You,
you.
you get to see it too, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
They will be sending it to me and then I'll distribute it.
Yep. Did everyone else get a chance to review that? Okay. So with that said, I would move that we approve the Second Amendment to the ER funding agreement that was approved by the County Commission September 8, 2025.
Second.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes. Yes, sorry.
Van Hooky,
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer.
Yes.
All right, item item C. Consideration to adopt land lease agreement tabled from September 16, 2025. There was one question I had in this document that was on here, and I should have marked the page, but it's in a PDF. It stated that the lessee would be required to pay the property taxes on the land that they were leasing for the city. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, but can you have a lessee pay the property taxes on leased property?
You mean we got a typo? Is that what you're indicating?
You can, but it's not enforceable, is that right?
I wouldn't think it would be.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yes, in a lot of other lease agreements, whether it's an apartment or whatever, typically that's why I was confirming the property owner pays the property taxes.
Not always, but in rental leases, yes.
Yeah, because otherwise you would be paying the property tax if you follow that. And we're different.
Okay.
But there are other leases where, even other than this one, there are other leases where the person leasing the property is responsible for the property taxes.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty normal, actually.
I had some questions on this one. Paragraph 5, second page. It says, at the termination of the said lease, the surrender possession of the said premises to the city in as good a condition as it is now. How do we assess the current condition, and how is it documented?
Well, I would like to think that we would know the condition of the property that we own and have it documented. All you
Well,
got
I
to do is
mean,
go out and take
how-
some pictures.
How is it documented, though? And
Well, that's an administrative thing. You guys don't have anything to do with it.
We'll have to have some kind of filing system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in some cases, it could be a 99-year lease. Leroy, you last another 99 years? You bet, okay.
He's honorary enough, he might.
And then the consent of the city, I'd really like that to say, consent of the city commission.
Well, the city commission is the city.
Yeah?
You represent the entity.
Yep.
Says that number 6.
Yeah, number 6.
So
And then-
that's a good question. So
Yeah.
we're gonna lease somebody land for 99 years. Are they not gonna be able to build a house on it?
It would be a similar process. They'd
They
still have
can,
to
there's-
abide by codes and permits and all that.
But this is no permanent improvement shall be erected on the leased premises.
Without the city's
Yeah,
consent.
that's-
Therefore, you can consent to anything.
When we
If-
lease,
right.
them the property.
Right.
If they come to us and say, hey, you got this piece of property, I'd like to build a building on it, or I'd like to build a garage on it.
Here's what I want to do, and here's
what
the
I wanna do.
blueprints and whatever, and you say, well, we think that's a bad use in this area.
Yeah.
We don't think it meets the zoning requirements. No. I mean, you have total control.
Otherwise, we say, yes, go build on the property.
Yeah.
You have the consent of the city.
Okay. So we just need to come up with a request and documentation system.
Sure.
Okay.
In fact, it's interesting, there are some places, Hawaii is the one that comes to mind. Nobody owns the real estate.
It's a 30-year.
You
lease there.
lease it because it's tribally held or what. And they tightly control that, and people build
Multi-million-dollar homes.
million-dollar hotels and homes and whatever, so it's, as long as you've got control, you're safe, in my opinion.
Now, question. This land lease agreement would not eliminate the process of someone wanting to come in and ask for a piece of property to be vacated, correct?
Right.
Right.
So that process is still available?
Yeah, that's available by
Just like when
statute.
Mr. Nyheiser came in?
It's available by
Okay.
statute.
Yep.
Good. All right. Any other comments, questions?
I think that was all I found that I had question or comment about.
Do we have anything in there? Because I was, pardon me, I'm not doing the greatest with reading through it. Is there anything that defines what, or limits what the land can be used for?
No.
Okay.
You have total control of what it can be used for.
Okay, but I mean, like, once we've leased it out to someone.
It's just left however it is. I mean, if it's a.
They still have to come to us to ask for permission to build something.
Right.
Okay.
So-
I mean, like, I guess I just don't want somebody to turn it into like a landfill or something.
We lease the land. I lease it to Catherine. She wants to build a house. She can't get a loan.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. That is true. Just ask the banker this.
Well,
And because they can't get title insurance.
well, they may not be able to, but this isn't going to fit everybody's need. Somebody's going to,
How often do we give away, or?
well, it won't be our land. In other words, if you want to build a house, you're going to have to find something other than what you guys own and build it there.
And there are banks that will.
There are banks that will.
For
It's-
instance, if you look at Hawaii, where $100 million hotels get built, and the bankers have no problem at all funding those $100 million hotels, and that lease is only a 30-year lease that has to be renewed every
Well,
year.
we're in Fort Scott, America.
Well, and you know,
not
you're,
saying-
you're exactly right. Nobody here may be able to get a loan from a local bank
There's different forms of collateral.
because we're a conservative is probably an understatement. We're fiscally extremely conservative, almost no risk, and that's just how we're tuned here. But that doesn't mean, this isn't going to fit everybody's need.
Right.
You're not stopping somebody from building a house. They just won't build it on our land.
Got it.
Questions?
And you don't have to lease anything to anybody. All this is it's the ability, if the situation arises, you have the flexibility, well, we could lease you this, would that work for what you want?
Right.
No, that won't work. Okay, fine, then we won't lease it to you.
For instance, let's say we owned a piece of property next to a golf course and somebody wanted to build a water feature on that property. We lease them that property, and that at the end of that 99 years, that property reverts back to the golf course and the city maintains ownership of said piece of property. So in that instance, that's a perfect example of where a document like this would have been extremely useful to have on file.
Say what you want, that's a beautiful water feature out there between the 4th and the 13th hole.
It's also the fanciest pond I have ever seen in my
It is.
entire life.
And we would not have expended the money to do what that guy did out there ourselves
no,
with the
never.
amount of stones and stuff.
Never.
I have a question as far as administration of this. Let's say somebody does build something on there and it transfers. They sell the house, somebody passes away, it goes down in the family. Is that something the city will keep track of, like reissue new lease agreements or?
Well, it would extend to the legal representatives, successors, and assignees of any of those parties here too for that 99 years. Now, the end of that 99 years, all they got to do is come back into the city.
Okay.
And
So it just
issue it over
forever
again.
stays in that.
Yeah, so like, for instance, I'll revert back to Hawaii again. The Hilton Hotel that is built in Maui has been there for 80 years on that piece of property now, and they've already had to renew it twice, and they're fixing to have to renew it a third time, and all they do is they go into the city officials and they renew the land lease without any question on it, so.
And just, I guess, so for improvements on land, I'll just go back to the golf course thing. At the end of, if that had been what we had done, and at the end of 99 years, whoever's here on the city doesn't want to renew the lease, then the city owns whatever the improvement they've done on the land then?
Yes.
They'll
remember
remember
by then.
Right.
Just want to make sure.
It's
Okay.
a risky run.
Yeah,
And- and
okay. I just want to make sure we
With
were
all due
aware of that.
respect,
Yeah.
none of us will be here at 99
Yeah.
years, I don't think.
I meant
if at any
people
point,
with a
The
different
city will be
attitude.
here. The city will be here.
Yeah, no,
or
I
if
get
at
it.
any point in that 99 years they violated the terms of the lease,
Then the city.
then the land would revert back
I
to the
just want to
city
make
as
sure it
well.
was, yeah.
So if
Thank
they tried to build something on the property that was not agreed to by the city,
Yeah, no, I was,
We'll just take it
a
then.
toxic dump site,
yeah,
then the city would be like, no,
Yep.
land's ours, cease and desist, you don't get the land back.
just want to make sure. Thank you so much. Yep, okay, cool.
So if there's no other comments, I'd call the question.
I motion that we accept the land lease agreement and keep this document for use in the future.
A second.
Tim Van Hookey?
You know, I see where it has applications, but it seems to me like a lot of the people that come in here looking for vacation properties to build homes or expand. So in my case, I appreciate all the work that was done on this, but I'm going to have to vote no.
Dylan Olson?
Pass.
Matthew Wells?
Told me I could do it before.
You can?
Yes.
You absolutely can.
Tracy Dancer?
Pass.
Catherine Salisbury?
Yes,
Dylan Olson?
Yes.
And Tracy Dancer?
Yes.
All right. You had us in suspense there for a little while, both of you guys did. Yeah. All right. Item D, under Section 8 of unfinished business, discussion of food truck ordinance.
So I was asked to create a ordinance. Bob and I talked about this, took bits and pieces from other cities to put together a ordinance. This is a rough draft only. I hope you've had time to read it and dissect it so you could delete or add whatever you would like.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we needed to have a work session on this, because it's a lot to digest.
Well, I have absolutely concerns about this. For instance, one of the items that was on there was if you've had a felony or a misdemeanor in the last 2 years, I mean, even a misdemeanor, you can't bring your food truck into Fort Scott, Kansas.
Like I said, add or delete.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There were a few other things in there as well. And the big question I still have on this from a support staff standpoint is a lot of times these food trucks are advertised to come in here on the weekend. And they don't get in here till early that morning because they drive a long ways to get here. And we don't have a means or a method for them to go in and register and provide all the documentation that they're asking for and everything prior to the weekend days they plan on being here.
Well, that's true, but we can come up with one.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's why I asked that question. Is that something that'd be available out on the website? And then will the website or somebody be able to follow the website to verify those documents that are there? Myself, I think this still needs a lot of work before,
Yeah,
personally,
there's
that I could support it. So,
Yeah, I've got concerns. I mean,
I just, to me, this is almost verbatim to a business license, but we're targeting it at food trucks. And when we tried that, we had people say, well, we shouldn't have to pay a fee. Now we're here saying food trucks need to pay a fee. It's just, I'm not trying to argue with anyone. It just seems hypocritical to me that we single out food trucks when it's no different than the discussion we had months ago. Like even in here, it talks about them needing to provide their insurance and so forth, and they're going to have a penalty if they don't register. And I understand there could be a safety concern there, but It just seems hypocritical. That's all I have to say about it.
Well, did everyone get a chance to review it?
Yeah, I'm most concerned that it would be construed as punitive. You know, the amount, you know, $400 a year. I was thinking more like $25 a year. You know,
That's normal cost. I looked up a lot, but that's up to you guys, what you want.
I believe you. I just, you know, I don't want it to come across as punitive.
Well, based on what we have, and you're right, there's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's something that we want to work on and revise, but regarding what was presented to us, I would move to disapprove the presented food truck ordinance for the city of Fort Scott.
Seconded.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
I would like to revisit this, probably with a work session, so we can actually hash things out. We can send you our comments and suggestions and concerns, just so you have that going in, right? If you guys want to wordsmith it, you know, based on the feedback that you get, how much time, folks, how much time do we need to, you know, get our comments to Brad and Bob?
Well, what I would ask is, we can give our comments to them, but why don't we look at as far as this being back on the agenda again, based on the number of items, we've already moved to the 21st of October meeting, that we look at the first meeting in November.
Yep.
So that gives 3 to 4 weeks.
Are we?
I mean, I have only one comment. My comment is simply, unless we are willing to equally apply this to all businesses in town, to me, it's a non sequitur regardless of what it says.
So that would be,
And that's just me.
I'm here 24/7, so whatever. I've heard two that has said that. So
I don't know. I've yet to hear where the safety concerns have come from,
how
other
much
than
work do I need to?
sales tax, but we had that.
Well, I think what we were looking
no, I
at
mean,
for
I-
now was what you've already presented to us, is if anybody wants to provide feedback,
Right.
they can do it.
Yeah.
But on the first meeting in November, we've already voted down what was presented to us. But Commissioner Dancer's request, he wants an opportunity to be able to provide comments. I myself, I don't want it, so you're not going to get any comments or feedback from me. That's just one commissioner's opinion.
That's also my opinion. I won't support it unless,
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be prudent to go for it, yeah.
Is it gonna be,
Is it dead in committee?
that's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I think we've tried to defibrillate it a couple of times here over the last few minutes, but it's
We
not
have.
moving.
months ago, I talked about how there are some businesses out there that probably should pay sales tax, but I don't think I've yet to hear a single safety concern about these food trucks from anyone, including city staff. So I haven't heard they're parking in the road, blocking traffic, or causing disturbances or any of that, or there's food poisoning going around from them. I haven't heard any of that.
And codes or law enforcement, Commissioner Olson does still have the ability to roll up and say,
They
hey,
do.
can I see your health permit, or can I see your license for that? I know that Mr. Sharp is still back there. They talk to the food truck vendors at Good Old Days about insurance, but Good Old Days themselves carries a significant amount of insurance for that event.
I'll tell you what, you know, we can agree to let this be as it is, and I'll get with my cohort over here next to you, and we'll draft something that maybe the others will find acceptable.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you. Okay, new business. Item A, consideration of bids, replacement of AC unit above the weight room, Buck Run.
I'm sorry, did you wanna put a date on it?
Let me get with Catherine, and I'll get with you.
Presented before us are 2 bids for an HVAC unit.
Yes.
One from CDL, $21,097, one from KTK, $16,399. And I'm assuming when they submitted these that the air handling capabilities of either one of these would meet the requirement for
Yeah,
the
they
space?
pretty much went with what was there.
Okay.
Went back with it.
Now, in KTK's bid, they say that a defective compressor and a few other issues would need to be rectified as opposed to replacing the unit. Can we get a quote just to repair that unit? I mean, is it?
From what Kent says, it would be just as cheap to get a new unit.
So it's gonna.
It's shot. Yeah, this is a very old, from when it was built, that section of the building was built, that's how old this unit is.
Okay.
It's shot.
Probably not very efficient either.
No.
So is the new unit gonna be any kind of heat pump style unit that's?
Yes.
Okay. Because I didn't see a specification other than 8.5 ton gas pack RTU. So I'm just curious as to what's the energy rating? I mean, I would have just liked to see a few more specifications on the units to help make an educated decision on which one's the best. I mean, if we're going simply on price, KTK's is $5,000 cheaper.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between the two units other than one's a Trane and one's a Lennox? I've got no other specifications to look at.
That's a good point. I don't know if those are, 410A or
Right.
4B or.
I mean, CDLs could be a heat pump unit, which in
Yeah,
that case,
those are missing.
Yeah, I'm willing to spend the extra 5,000 if it's a heat pump. But I don't know.
I'll get additional specs for you, but it'd probably be a different price, I would say.
Different price?
Yeah, because these quotes are up.
Oh.
That's okay. I mean, we'll see what we can get.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, that one from KTK, is that a typo, the 99 of 2024? That estimate?
Probably.
No, it might be a typo. It's probably 99 of this year.
Okay.
It is the same as the other one.
Okay.
I mean, are they only good for 30 days? Is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, if you can get the information, I'm happy to do a special session to get it taken care of.
It's cool outside. We'll be all right for
Okay.
a couple weeks.
Same. Okay.
All right. So we need a motion to.
Motion to table.
Yep.
Pending additional information.
I'll second that.
I'm sorry, who made the motion, Tim?
No. Commissioner Dancer.
Matthew Wells?
Yes.
Tracy Dancer?
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury?
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey?
Yes.
Dylan Olson?
Yes.
Can I think I gotta ask this question.
Mhm.
You got this packet out early this week. You got it out Thursday. How early do we need to get these packets to you to where we can get these questions asked before tonight?
Yeah.
Because I could have got these answered. for
Okay.
you.
Probably.
Not the,
I don't
I know you all have jobs.
Yeah.
And this is a $1 a year that you never get job. But I could have got these answered for you. Now
Okay.
we've got to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah, we gotta wait 2
Not
weeks.
because of this, but
Right.
now our agenda keeps growing.
Right.
And we keep kicking things out. So what do I need to do to help you five?
No, I think you sent out a note saying we have a lengthy agenda. Do you have any questions? Now, just me personally, because I worked in HVAC and my whole family did for several years. Nowadays, if these are brand new units, most of them are energy efficient. They have the requirements for it. I know
I just
you're
wanna
looking
know
for,
what
you're
I'm
looking
doing.
for other features and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
And warranties
So,
and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand that, but I do agree with the city manager that we do get these in time. And that, now granted, this one, in all fairness to everybody, between the food truck ordinance and We haven't even looked at the,
Yeah, we haven't even started
the-
the public hearings yet.
no, I'm talking about the
My-
container home.
My tome.
And then we had the
Yes.
radio packet information in there
Yep.
that went on for several pages. But, yeah, I mean,
I'll be 100% honest, this came out late on Thursday afternoon, which is still pretty good. I did not see this particular little thing until just the other day. So I didn't have time, the same with Catherine's container thing. I haven't been able to give it the digestion that it needs to be able to.
I just want to know what my staff or I have to do
Right.
to where we don't
I think,
flood you 2 weeks from now.
Oh, right.
I think it's,
Well,
I think we're
use-
saying it's an us problem and not a you problem.
Well, I mean, a couple of years ago, we did have a thing set up where the agenda and all the information would come out on Wednesday.
Right.
Instead of it, because right now, basically, it still gets to us late Thursday evening, so that's basically Friday. And then we're into the weekend. For me, it'd be extremely beneficial if we could even get it a day sooner where it's not
you
all
usually
that.
send them out during the
fall.
day, don't you? I don't think I've ever got one in the evening.
You also got to take into the fact that only two of us can communicate with each other at a time. So I could talk to Matthew with this, but I really am not legally supposed to talk with anyone else
Right.
about it.
So I think Brad's saying that
You can email
You can
me.
call him.
Yeah, we can.
But the point I'm trying to get to is Tim might have had that thought and sent it to you, but I'm not going to know that until we sit down here. So, I mean, unless,
But if you have questions on anything, you can send it to me. I can get you answers. At least
But we-
that
I
answers you.
didn't think about, that's why I'm telling you.
But we need to still get our feedback to you in time for you to respond.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
You gotta do
could you
whatever
get
I
it
can
to
to
us?
help.
Yeah, could you get us the draft on Wednesday? If,
May not be as
if,
big as,
I imagine they're just wanting to do a similar change out, nothing fancy, is what I would imagine. I doubt it's a heat pump.
See, that, and I don't think it is either.
so
That's
we'll
why-
just, I mean, it'd be a smaller, which is fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Right, when we take it to the directors' meeting on Wednesday, that's pretty much what's gonna be there, but it all hinges on the supporting documentation, getting
Okay.
that in.
We'll just
Right,
we can make
okay.
changes on our end, but I just ask for questions if you have them. Just so we can, it's just like on financials. It's better if I have those early so I can ask Devin, ask Ben, whoever, so I can be efficient for you.
Yeah.
So, okay. There you go.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Brad.
I'll get those answers for you.
Item B, consideration of resolution number 28, 2025, a resolution notice of hearing with reference to alleged unsafe and dangerous structure at 308 North Mineral. Got a chance again to drive by all of these over the last couple of days. To me, this was one of the more frightening ones, if I'm remembering it correctly, because when you get to the side of it, the sidewall is like sticking out.
Yeah, this particular house was struck by a car and knocked about 4 feet off its foundation. The owner has been paid by insurance on it, and I'm going to assume took the money and ran because he didn't finish tearing it down. So it has become a very unsafe structure that we need to move on relatively fast, in my opinion.
This is the one with the shipping container?
Yeah.
Or roll-off dumpster?
It's been sitting there for
Yeah.
most of the year.
Anyone else have anything?
Yep.
I would move to approve resolution number 28-2025. Resolution notice with hearing with reference to alleged unsafe and dangerous structure at 308 North Mineral.
Second.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hook,
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Yes.
Item C, consideration of Resolution 29, 2025, a resolution notice of hearing with reference to alleged unsafe and dangerous structure at 1815 East Oak.
This particular house, I've sent letters various times over the course of the year. Have gotten no response. This is a blighted home that we do all of the weed eating and mowing. I get lots of complaints from the neighborhood on this particular house. Doors and windows are open, been left open for a while. It's just a house that's going to sit there and continue to dilapidate.
Questions or comments? I would move to approve consideration of Resolution 29, 2025, resolution or notice of hearing with reference to alleged unsafe and dangerous structure at 1815 East Oak.
Second.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hook,
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Yes.
Tracy Dancer.
Yes.
Item D, consideration of resolution number 30, 2025, a resolution, thank you, Brad, and notice of hearing with reference to alleged unsafe and dangerous structure at 1626 East Pine. And I've got a question for you on this one after you brief us.
On this one, I actually have had interaction with the mother of the owner. They've made various promises. They're going to do this, they're going to do that, to do something with the house. They never follow through with their promises. This is another one that we have to do the mowing, weed eating all summer long on. This is just a house that's just sitting there, rotting away.
My question on the house was, and maybe you've answered part of it, was when I went by there the other day, storm door was busted out, but there was a green paper hanging over that looked like a building permit. And the date on the building permit that was issued was June 27th of 2025.
That was a promise to get started. I'm going to get started right away. We're going to start making improvements, and then they never even came back and mowed the lawn again.
Okay.
So they came in and got the permit and didn't follow through on anything.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah. Leroy, is that building currently occupied?
No.
It didn't look like
It has everything in it for someone to be able to go there and live, but they don't stay there.
Okay.
When I went up to the door,
Yeah.
there were no window coverings you could see.
Right.
Right
That's
in
how
there.
I know. Yeah, when I went up there to put the signage up, then
Well, I just wanted to make sure, because like I said, there was a building permit that was only, 3 or 4 months old.
yeah, and like I said, the mother of the owner is the one that contacted me. She's the one that came up and got the building permit. I have had no contact with the owner themselves, even though I've tried through, mail and.
Yeah, and it wasn't even really attached. It was just like hanging over
Right.
the door.
Yeah.
I would move to approve resolution number 30, 2025 as presented.
Second.
Tim Van Hook,
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Yes.
Tracy Dancer.
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury.
Yes.
Okay. Item E, resolution number 31, 2025, resolution and notice of hearing with reference to alleged unsafe and dangerous structure at 1403 East Oak.
I've had several conversations with the owner of this house. He has came and gotten a building permit here in the last week. They have been over there trying to stabilize the house enough to do some work on it. After going in and seeing the house, I don't see where they could
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Make it happen.
But this house sits relatively, really close to a beautiful brick ranch that's just to the east of it.
No, that was the other one.
That was the other one on Oak.
yeah.
Okay. I knew
Yeah,
one of the
this
two
one
on Oak were-
sits on the corner of Oak and Grant.
That's right.
It's basically behind the two structures that were tore down by Aunt Toadie's.
Yeah. Yep, that's right.
This house is
So they
a
were,
com- a
did they
complete
come in and get a
disaster.
permit?
They
Is that-
did. I mean, the back side of the house fell off.
I did see that it's the middle section of the back of the house.
Yes,
Okay.
it fell off. The
And the
foundation,
foundation below
fell
it.
off. The house is pretty well rotten inside and out.
I
But
remember which one now because I'm looking at the front and then I came around to the back and I'm like, the whole middle section and the foundation of the middle section was gone.
and I did let the owner know that my intentions with this was to come and just keep this ball rolling, and if he can, before we get to the condemnation part of it, or the final vote, that if he's done enough to justify me pulling off of this, then I absolutely will. But I want to keep the ball rolling with this because this thing's a,
Well, he has the opportunity to come in for the hearing.
yes, yeah.
And if you
So,
would please make sure he knows when it is.
I will.
Okay. I would move to approve resolution number 31, 2025, resolution notice of hearing reference to alleged unsafe dangerous structure at 1403 East Oak.
Seconded.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
No.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes. And I can't wait to hear about the last one on here. Consideration of resolution number 32, 2025, resolution and notice of hearing with reference to alleged unsafe and dangerous structure at 505 South Couch.
This thing is not only a safety hazard because of the condition of the house, it's also a health hazard for anybody in the surrounding area.
Structurally, the house looked like it,
On the inside, it's
I mean, from the outside structurally,
it's basically on the inside, it's gutted. When I went to knock on the door to see if there was anybody in the residence, the door actually fell off the hinges and fell in.
Can't secure the.
Inside there, they were living there until they were evicted. I looked down and there was a dead cat that had been dead for quite some time right there in the house with them.
do we know if there's any drug activity going on?
From my past experience with this house, yes.
Because I believe from where that house is, right across the road, there's like the senior
Correct.
duplexes right across the street from it.
Correct. And this house is also owned by someone that we just tore down their house on the last round as well. This house is utterly unlivable.
Any questions or comments for Codes Director Kruger? All right. Is there a motion?
Yeah. I know Fort Scott Paws and Claws has dropped off food there in the past month. Did you find any animals there? Dogs?
No, the doors aren't even on the thing on the house anymore, front or back. Or the last time I drove by, they weren't. I believe that the dogs have all been taken and or ran away. I haven't seen any. There was a litter of puppies there, but they've all disappeared over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
I would make a motion to approve Resolution 32-2025, resolution and notice of hearing with reference to alleged unsafe structure at 505 Couch.
Seconded.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
All right, item G, consideration of engineering for repair to waterway system, Agriculture Engineering Associates, $36,000.
This is a waterway that was damaged during the flood, and we've been in contact with FEMA constantly from the day it happened. And so they advised us to get an engineer on this. We did. And this is the bill. We would pay it out of stormwater, but we have all the paperwork turned in already for FEMA. So whenever we get this done and they see fit, they'll reimburse us for this plus whatever it would cost to repair that. But this is the engineering cost to start the project.
This includes the actual physical work, not just the engineering?
No, sir.
This is
Just
just
the engineering.
Yeah.
just the engineering.
This is it's a pretty major project. It doesn't look like it, but it really is a major project. It's right by the pawn shop, if you're familiar with what it is.
And we're just doing the part on the south side of Wall Street, or is that running to the north?
South side.
There's just quite a stretch along there of waterway.
Was this not something Earl's wanted to take a look at?
We looked at it and, you know, trying to keep up with the rest of the stuff going on, we thought ag engineering would be.
No, Ag does a good
No,
job
don't-
with some of these.
Don't worry, we made sure Jason knew about it. Don't worry.
I like that first right of refusal.
He didn't offer lunch that day. so.
All right. Questions, comments? Is there a motion?
A motion that we move forward with the engineering for the repair of the water system.
Second.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Yes.
All right. Item I, consideration of monthly fee adjustment, Baker Tilly Municipal Advisors.
So this is a fee adjustment increase from $5,000 a month to $5,500 a month from Baker Tilly. Just to give them kudos, they have not raised our rates for a couple years. So this is the first rate increase that we've had since they've started with us.
They're going to come down to more meetings
I'd like them to.
for the more money?
But I did talk to Ben, and we are scheduling more meetings with internally. Got some areas we want to go further in.
I mean, I think Baker Tilly's done a great job. It's everything from us working on our capital equipment purchases, to what we have, to the planning, to the budget. They were instrumental in what we were able to do for the citizens as far as property taxes go for 2026. And we know what we got, just my opinion. I would hate to bring somebody new in at this point, maybe in another year or so, we can go out to bid just to get a feel for what the market is, but there's some good things going on right now. In my opinion alone, I think they're doing a good job.
I concur.
For the sake of continuity and, I don't know that anybody here has particular heartburn with Baker Tilly. I would motion that we approve the consideration for monthly fee adjustment for Baker Tilly from $5,000 to $5,500 a month.
A second.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hooky,
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
No.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer.
Yes.
Item I, consideration of contract for real estate, sale, shoemaker, and City of Fort Scott.
This is for a piece of property over by a piece of property that we already own. It would be, it'd be right across the street from the depot on Scotts Avenue, right behind Hayner's Apartments. We own a piece of property there, and with this, we could make that into a parking lot for the development of not only the depot, but also the two new businesses are right there, plus for people that actually work downtown. And our outlook for this would be eventually, if possible, we could use that to drive in some other businesses to maybe buy that piece of property.
Point of clarification, I mean, the city gave that land to him, right?
The north part, not this part. These are two different sections of land.
This is where the Van Fossen building stood until the fire took it out.
This is where the
I mean,
black
this is-
fence is.
Yeah, the black fence.
Yeah, we don't own that currently.
No, I know, but the city used to, right?
Not that piece of, not where the black fence is, no. The land to the.
North.
North of it, yes, and the land,
We've already taken the land back to the door.
yeah. That was the land that we.
The land that was behind the Hayner's Apartments.
Yeah, that's the one that we had given away and we clawed it back already.
This would just make a complete parcel.
Yeah, I mean, so the land that the fence is around was never the city's?
No. It used to be the Van Fossen building, and then that
Okay.
building burnt down during the fire, and they maintained ownership of the land.
Okay,
We never bought it from them, they never gave it to us.
okay.
Well, I think to Brad's point, I think there's a brewery going in
Yeah.
right there, and there's other.
Yeah.
And if something
We
gets
got
done
the
with the depot building. it
Trading
would-
card place there. and
Yep.
everything. Yeah.
Projects going with the depot, plus there's been conversations about the barber shop. So that's, could eventually be something too. So, and plus, you've got Mi Ranchitos park, get some people off of Main to be able to park in the back, and there's low milk and parking. There's a lot of opportunities.
Sure.
Questions, comments? Is there a motion?
What will these funds come out of?
This will come out of economic development.
Comes out of economic development?
Yes.
Did we allocate funds for economic development?
There's funds there, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that left? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's-
Current budget?
Yes.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, it's, okay.
I would move to approve the contract for real estate sale between Shoemaker and the city of Fort Scott for the discussed property.
Seconded.
Tim Van Hookey?
Yes.
Dylan Olson?
Yes.
Matthew Wells?
Yes.
Tracy Dancer?
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury?
Yes.
Okay. Item J, the biggest part of the agenda we got.
Yeah, right.
Consideration of the shipping container ordinance. Commissioner Salisbury.
Thank you. Several months ago, we discussed very briefly the state of shipping containers and how they're regulated within the city, both as storage and then potentially as future housing. So I prepared an executive summary of the intention of that and shared it with you. And then I also, as a jumping off point, made a couple of draft ordinances. One is just a general container ordinance that would regulate containers for storage and commerce, but it would strictly, and it strictly prohibits detached trailers outside of industrial zones, like, so basically what is normally on a tractor trailer, that to protect neighborhood aesthetics. And then there's a second ordinance for consideration, which would be a container primary structure ordinance, basically meaning that it's for homes. That would be it would have non-negotiable engineering and safety standards. It would require the PE certification and conventional cladding to allow shipping containers to be used as legal habitable homes. Basically, and then there's a third one that would be the general container ordinance that allows for that home ordinance if you chose it. That's really the only difference. It has amendments in there to allow for that, or at least that was my intention. So, if you have any questions, I can't imagine why.
Yeah, what standard would we use for the aesthetic?
Well, she had put some
Oh, I know.
suggested things in there like,
Right, I mean,
Yeah.
siding, but I mean, I guess the question is why?
Why?
Yeah.
Basically, to basically protect the neighborhood look, if that's what you mean, like for homes or anything. So, like currently, the containers, they can have chipped paint or signage of any kind on it. This would just require them to be painted in like a neutral color, or is something that matches with the primary structure. And it would need to be, if it's a storage container, in next to residential areas, it would need to be screened in some way with, I went back and forth on this. I think I ended up saying it's 75% if it was next to residential. So, but are you asking why we would care what they look like? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
why would we enforce, that they, Leroy?
Several months ago, I gave you guys verbiage on this that I worked with other surrounding towns that are of the same size as Fort Scott, and laid this all out for you as well. So I think I've asked you guys a couple times. I gave you the verbiage for and against for this to adopt, so you might also take a look at that, because I did quite a bit of homework on that for you guys as well.
Do we currently have any M1, M2s in our zones?
Yeah. Not many, but yeah.
see, the thing that, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, I can't put a single wide manufactured home in the city limits,
Yes, you
correct?
As long as it's on a
You can now?
foundation.
You always,
Okay.
you always could. It has to be brand new. It can't be used.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it has to
Is the
be,
shipping container brand new?
they can be.
Can be, yeah, but most of them that come in are used.
Well, if you're talking about a home, like she's probably done the homework on it, there are specific guidelines and standards that you have to follow on these things if you're going to make them more than a single container dwelling. They have to have engineered plans and have to be done to certain specifications that are even, go beyond what we would adopt.
See, to me, the biggest sticking point on it is we do have a lot of really nice older homes, or even some nice average homes, on the east side and on the west side. Would be the concern of, you got these nice 100-year-old homes sitting there, and then boom, you've got this contemporary.
That's another ordinance that we have. If you're going to build a home, it has to somewhat similarly match the houses in the surrounding vicinity. So if someone wants to build something that's going to stick out like a sore thumb, then that is against an ordinance as well.
Well, I mean, but, okay, are we gonna enforce it? And I'm not, it's not you, it's not anyone in particular, but, I know within the city limits, right amongst a bunch of historic houses, there is at least 2 instances of metal prefab buildings, right smack in the middle of residential areas. And in one case, it's not even residential. There's a workshop, there's a wood shop in it, and they rent a small apartment on the back of the building, but it's not even a dwelling per se. The main purpose of the building is commercial, and it went in under, I don't think anybody's noses who are currently serving.
Right.
But are we going to enforce? I mean, I drove around and I saw there's still a container, trailer up there at 3rd and Margrave. Right? There at that old gas station, I guess.
Yeah, by Eugene Ware, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's been there for over a dozen years.
It's been addressed. It's going through the works. And I apologize for interrupting you,
no,
Catherine,
please, thank
but the reason that I did interrupt you is because I get asked a lot why we're not enforcing these, and that's why I'm bringing this up again. I gave you literature for and against and asked you to adopt one so I could know what direction I needed to go in. And I've been asking that for about.
Well, I mean, the tractor trailer box, that's never been allowed. That is in the ordinance.
That is,
Right now.
he is currently addressing that, and also, that particular property is in debate, whether it is a commercial property, and if it is a commercial property, then he can basically tell me to pound sand.
Yeah, I mean, there's another one over there. I was driving over, looking at that house at 505 Couch, and came upon another one, sitting right in the middle of a residential area. It's easily visible from the street. It's been there for a long time.
Right. I need verbiage to help me out.
And that was, that's what I was trying to do here. So I had said that the detached trailers, if I remember correctly, would be disallowed anywhere that wasn't industrial. So then it would not be allowed in a commercial area per se. So, and I think I had, that this gives them 90 days to get out if it's in violation right now.
See, I would have a problem with that portion of it because then you put extreme limits on
I just mean,
lot of commercial.
I just mean the detached trailers, not,
Right.
yeah.
Well, no, even those, because you continually, with a lot of commercial, you have people come up, drop the trailer full of supplies, and then it gets unloaded, And so we would have to, by the way it's currently written right here, none of these commercial properties would be allowed to do that anymore.
No, you can, there's a provision where you can get them in there temporarily. like-
Temporarily, yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah, but like a couple of them, they continually rotate out those detached trailers, so. And then there are several commercial properties that have connexes that have been there for 30, 40 years now.
There also are some residences, one lives right across from me, that uses it as storage. So I'm sure our city manager knows who I'm talking about. I mean, do you make them remove it?
There's several of them. There's a lot of them that's been there a lot longer.
We
now.
are,
But they're harming no one at the same time.
You're exactly
So
right.
well, Norm and I
Exactly right.
are not touching those at all, and we're not going to touch those at all until we get
that's what I'm saying.
the
How do
legal
you-
and proper verbiage.
How do you balance that with one at the corner of Third and Margrave?
That's a good
It's,
question, but that's for you guys to decide.
So can I, Commissioner Catherine has done
Excellent job.
tremendous
Yeah,
amount
it's
of
a lot of
work
work.
on this.
Yeah.
Plus Leroy has some documents. We've talked about work sessions.
Yeah.
This sounds like a big one.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Would it, I haven't looked at any calendar, Monday or Tuesday of next week for an hour? I don't think I'd go over an hour, then you start just getting kind of crazy.
We move it to the week after.
Well, then you
I'm
have-
leaving Sunday for Colorado.
Then you just do it, you want to do it an hour before your regular meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
could have a
next
long
Tuesday.
meeting anyway that night.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long.
Yeah, we've thrown a lot of what's on this one on there.
Yeah, so I don't, you've done a ton of work on this, so I don't want to push it off. I'd like,
Well, and to be
I'd
honest,
like to have something set. If we're gonna do it, I'd like to have it done so we can start at least by first year.
and I'll be honest with you, she has done a lot of great work, and I've read it 3 times, but still, let's make this a focus item before the next meeting. And that'll give each of us more time, because how many pages is this thing? It's like 20-something
Good read.
pages.
War and Peace, I don't know.
It is.
Well, plus, don't you have documentation too to put with it? So
I do, and if I could say one last thing before I sit back down. Like I said, I apologize for interrupting, but thank you for bringing this up, because this has been something I've been after for quite some time to
Okay.
go forward on. Thank you.
Can Leroy be at our work session, please?
Oh, sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
so it's not being necessarily tabled because we're going into a work session.
Yeah, I just introduced it.
Work session on the 21st.
Yes.
At 5 o'clock.
At 5
Does that
o'clock.
work?
Yep.
Will you be off the bus by then?
I'll be a few minutes late, but I'll get here as quick as I can.
We'll just bring the bus straight here. Park it out
Yeah,
front.
but then I have to take it back out there.
We can all go,
Just bring the kids with you.
yeah,
Dylan?
educational, yeah.
Commissioner Olson, are you okay that day? Early?
Yeah, that should be fine. I'm reading a lot of what you wrote again, and there's a lot of good things in there. I just have concerns about the residents who aren't meaning to harm anyone.
Mhm. Well, I
They
think
don't
that,
be punished for
yeah.
having a shipping container already, so
Well,
to say.
I would think that I had it like, I'm trying to, I rewrote it a lot of times, sorry, 'cause I'm pretty sure I had something where some things were grandfathered in, but I can't remember exactly. I went through a lot.
I did, I
We can
didn't,
work through that.
Yeah, so, yeah. and
I didn't find the grandfathered thing.
Even if I
so-
didn't,
yeah.
we can definitely do that.
Yeah, because that was part of my concern, was not only the residents, but I know a lot of commercial businesses that have used these connexes as part of their business.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so,
And so like for something like that, it just like, I think, let's just say, for example, there's a couple outside Don's Liquor. I've seen them there, when I'm at Sonic. Okay. Anyway. Anyway, no, just kidding. But like, I think those are right next to residential things, but they're painted, basically they blend in, so that's not to change much with something like that. That's already, yeah.
all right.
Very good. Item K, so we have a work session November 21st, 5 PM.
Yeah.
Item K, Cape Sill 2026-2027 program.
Worked with the Street Advisory Board plus staff to come up with a Cape Seal program for 26 and 27. We would probably work on the 27 one a little bit more to add more blocks to it, but this would go along with our 9-year plan already to enable us to touch a little bit more of our streets in the city of Fort Scott. So what I'm asking for is the approval to go out for bid on the Cape Seal program for 2026. One thing I would just, and then Matt, Commissioner Wells knows, we are going to revise the request for quote to, or proposal to go with a specific size of rock, because we don't, KDOT standards go from little tiny to boulders. We got boulders last time. We don't want boulders. So we will go with a specific type of rock and also throw out where they can get the rock. That's what I would.
Could we get maybe Earls to give a presentation on the differences between Cape Seal,
And the fog.
chip seal, fog seal, and I've even heard slurry seal, sort of micro sealing, and the costs of what they would
One of
present?
them's really expensive, so.
Well, I've seen about slurry, I've heard about Cape Seal, and then I've
Slurry.
seal. It's almost micro sealing with, you can call it oil or tar, essentially what we have ourselves.
There's there's a street up on 159th Street that is similar to what the slurry seal, and man, it is, you can't tell. I thought it was asphalt until I talked to one of the street directors up there, and that's what he said it was. And they even actually throw a little bit of the, looks like diamonds in it. It's not
Right.
diamonds, but it looks.
They call it almost micro sealing.
I mean, it's nice. It's really nice.
And I was just wondering the cost and difference between what we're calling Cape Seal versus that.
Well, that micro slurry is an actual Cape Seal. What we got on this last project was a chip seal with a fog coat.
Right.
Cape Seal in parentheses.
I honestly, for one, don't want to see that anymore, but I do like this list where we're targeting more residential roads, which is what I believe this program should do. And our asphalting and other major projects should target the main roads. I would ask, why do we only have 44 blocks in 2027?
That's what
We just haven't got to more.
We haven't
yet.
got that.
Okay. Because I don't think us as a city, we're going to get to our residential roads in an effective manner unless we start using this program to either, one, improve them or mill them and asphalt them ourselves.
Yeah. And there's a few roads that if we get this process done on them soon, we can extend the life of those roads several years, which allows Brad to continue with the 9-year plan while not sacrificing some of these highly trafficked roads in
I
town.
agree, because some of the roads I drive every day, I look at them and I'm just like, if we just put a proper slurry seal over them, you have 10 more years on them. You don't even need to asphalt them.
I would move to approve the city manager to go out for Cape Seal bids for 2026, and with, do you want him to go out with additional options of?
I want to see, before we go out for bids, I'd like to see a comparison of,
Okay.
we're calling this a Cape Seal.
How much time do you need prior to 2026, Brad, to get us slotted with some of these guys?
I'd like to get on their schedule June or July. I want to be able to do it next June and July. I want it when it's really hot.
But we'll need to
we'll
go out to bid.
So then you'll need to go out to bed pretty quick, so
Right
you,
around late December, January.
okay, well, why don't we move this to a November meeting then?
Okay.
So we're not piling another item into the,
I just want a comparison and make sure the RFP, based upon the commissioners seeing those comparisons, is actually what the product we're going to expect.
I won't say a name, but I'll try to get a contractor that came in and did a really good job for us to come in and give us like a comparison of what they've.
Given what we
done
just
fast.
went through, I'd like that myself.
Okay.
That's fine with me. I can do that.
And ask him if you would, how soon, if we want to get this done during the summer next year, how soon we need to get people to bid, because I was under the impression that we needed to start getting bids by October or November.
That was my
if we
impression.
wanted them to
Late
do it next
November-
summer.
Late November, December is what he told me.
Okay, in order to
Wait
get
too
on.
long
I
and
won't say anything.
Not have any slots for anybody.
Exactly, yeah.
Are the bids we get in November gonna be, are they gonna hold?
Oh,
until-
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They want to do it. These contractors want to do that early so they can get their whole summer plan.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, is there a clause in the contract or something to, you know,
Most of, that's kind of that's a risk they take of oil prices.
Yeah.
Right now, they're kind of steady, so that's a good thing. I don't know what's going to happen by then, but that'll be up to them to, they put a little bit of extra cost in there, I'm sure.
all right.
All right.
Is that a strike for the motion, or is just died for lack of a second?
Yeah,
No, second.
Oh, it was second.
I'll second, yeah.
To go out for bids?
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
No.
So, okay, I'm lost. So, do you still want me to bring somebody in to show comparisons, or are we good with denoting, and I'll work with Jason, denoting the size of rock, and I don't know what you guys just voted for, honestly. So I don't. I
Well, my original motion, it
I know you
was,
voted for
for you to-
it was to get the different options that were available, you know,
Okay.
size of rock. Jason
Yeah, I'll
should
put
be,
together, I guess we'll call it a white paper, let's say, and it breaks down all the different types. We've heard different names for
but when the
different
bid
things.
goes out, though, the different
So-
options that are available,
Yeah.
can't that be part of our bid
It can be,
package?
yeah.
Bid us on each of these?
Yeah.
And
you
then,
kinda-
in the interim, we'll get the bid back, and that'll give Commissioner Olson and the rest of the commission an opportunity to see what the different applications are.
Yeah, some companies don't do everything.
They don't do everything.
They don't do everything, so
No, they don't.
that's fine. Okay. I can start working on the bid sheets. Go
One
ahead.
more thing. Can you please repeat your motion, because I have that your motion was to go out for Cape Seal bids. and
Cape
then-
Seal bids with different options available based on the recommendations of city engineer and the city manager,
Thank you.
so that we have options to vote on. And in the interim, to get educated.
Do we need to make like a future agenda item for the theme that?
Well, not till we get the bids back, I don't think. Oh, you mean for the training?
You can
Right, uh-huh.
download the.
Yeah.
Just
manual.
whenever
But I wanna make
Brad,
sure
No, no, no.
Yeah.
whenever Brad can get
Yeah.
somebody to come in. I mean, we don't know when that date will be right now.
Okay, cool. All right.
There's chip seal down there.
No.
Okay, well, it makes sense to go get the information. We don't have to have.
Item L, discussion of November 4th City Commission meeting election night.
I'll let you do that. I don't know that. So go ahead.
Well, there was a request by a commissioner to move the meeting from November 4th election night.
This is something I've brought up before, believe last year, and it was too late. I don't believe we should hold a meeting on an election day or night. It deprives the voter, if they want to attend this meeting, of the ability to do so if they have to go vote while meeting's going on. But
Yeah, I was gonna address it in my comments as well. I'm of a similar persuasion that, Commissioner Olson is that, the idea that we would hold a city commission meeting, and put citizens in a position where maybe the only time they have to go vote is when we're choosing to meet, would be bad.
And then, I guess my answer to that personally, in my opinion, is early voting opens up well in advance of the actual election night. In past years, we've actually held the meeting because that's what we're elected to do, and I would be more in favor of keeping that meeting night. I mean, there are opportunities for people to vote other than just on that one night at 6 o'clock.
There's some like me, though, that like to vote on election day.
Well,
So from a practicality point, when would we move it to?
I really do. We could move it the day, well, they say if we put it on Mondays, that coincides with the county. Do it the day after. We could do it a week later. It don't have to be on the first Tuesday of the
We can
month.
defer it to the
If we
the
did,
following Tuesday.
if we did it the next Tuesday, would it conflict with your work?
Mr. Hoyt,
The county
I just don't
hold
understand.
back
the-
on.
They usually-
That the machines are there.
right. Mr. Hoyt says there won't be a county meeting that Monday, so there's,
If you want to have it on the Monday before, that's fine, but other than that, like I said, I still think that, you know, it hasn't impacted us in previous years.
It hasn't impacted us at the table, but
I've brought it up twice.
I,
Once before I was sitting here and once after.
And I know you have, and I appreciate your opinion very much, but I could be honest with you, that's one thing that none of my constituents have ever come forward and said, how come you guys still have a meeting on election night? So that's where, but yeah, if there's a motion on the floor to move it, by all means.
If I may first, please, after, I was thinking about your schedule, I looked up to see, because I've, been sympathetic and in agreement with Commissioner Olson. But according to the Kansas Open Meeting Records Act, basically that law broadly declares that as representatives of the government, we should have an informed electorate, and the government meetings must be open to the public. And the implication of that can be seen, my understanding would be, holding a meeting when the public is highly engaged elsewhere, such as voting or following election results, can be viewed as undermining the spirit of that act. So that's just my 2 cents there.
Bob?
You can change the meeting anytime you want. It's totally within your purview, totally, because you've done it.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there a motion?
Yeah. I motion that we reschedule the November 4th City Commission meeting to 6 PM on November 3rd, Monday.
Seconded.
J.C. Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
No.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Yes.
And if the county comes and asks for your room for November the 3rd, make sure you say no.
Yeah. Very good.
Joint meeting with us.
Okay. Last item on the agenda, discussion of ADM, item M.
Commissioner Wells, you want to start this? You want me to?
So basically, I wanted to ask the commission to allow our engineers to have a discussion with ADM about the possibility of seeing if we can start bringing back over some of the industrial water and treating it so that we can start recouping some of the investments that we made in the sewer treatment plant. For instance, and I believe Jason could probably speak to it better than myself, the reason we went with the aeration package in Lagoon Number 1 the way that we did was so that we could properly treat that water being brought over from ADM, and it just seems worthwhile with the investments that we have made to continue to try to bring some of that money back. We were making somewhere around $1 million a year off of that, not including the years where we made extremely large amounts of money because the surcharges, because everything was out of whack, but just the normal charges for treating it. So we're shorting ourselves about $1 million a year, money that could be brought into the city coffers to continue to do sewer work. And I've had this discussion with other people before. One of my main goals is to continue to lower taxes on our citizens. But I don't, at the same time, want to not have funds to be able to do infrastructure repair. And this is an easy way to start bringing money back into the coffers to do continued repairs. Anyway.
Yeah, so he's correct with the, with the upgrades that were completed already. We added all those aerators in cell 1 of the lagoon, as well as a separator curtain, so that the travel path was longer to get to between cell 1 and 2. So with all that in place and the aeration in Lagoon 2 as well, that created a system level of BOD that could be treated. We had some really high concentrations, so we got to work on that still. But so there's a simple calculation. It's basically suspended solids that remain in water. Is you take the concentration, milligrams per liter, which I don't like that. I'm American, right? So pounds, we want that turned into pounds. So if you take, for an easy number, 100,000 gallons in a day of the ADM waste, which was probably a busy day, is that like 20 loads? Is it 5,000 gallons per day? Do you remember? So around there. So on a busy day, if they were bringing that stuff and it was treated better at ADM, you could get it down to, if you got the BOD to about 6,000 milligrams per liter, which is still pretty high, that's what we're designed to treat. So in a day, 100,000 gallons at 6,000 milligrams per liter is the loading that we could take, which equals 5,000 pounds. So every day, it can process 5,000 pounds of the BOD through the cell 1 into 2 and out in that lagoon system with the upgrades. The only caveat we still think the capacity of cell 1 is diminished because of sediment. So I think part of that process is, we've priced it in the past, dredging that is expensive. There's some hydro methods where they basically kind of suck it out instead of mechanically doing it that I think are cheaper, but we'd be happy to, evaluate all that stuff and work with Scott and his guys and kind of go through some of that. But we kind of want to get, part of the deal is, let's see what ADM's got going on, because we've kind of detached a little bit from that since you're only treating their domestic waste. So there's no issues there. Their BOD is pretty low, so. But if we wanted to get back into treating that industrial waste, I think, we need to sit down with ADM and the city, kind of see what they've got going on. They were supposed to do some upgrades at their lagoon. I don't know if that happened. They tweaked some of their processes that got that glycerin level that caused the pH. They seem to have fixed that. But the BOD was just still high, so we can't sustain that. I think we were all here when that lagoon went septic, and it was a bad day, so that's kind of.
It wasn't a
normal
bad
thing.
day, it was several bad weeks.
So that happens. It's normal for bodies of water to turn. That's what they call it. They turn the hot water and the cold water. It flips twice a year, so you had a perfect storm of events. That happened, the waste BOD loading was really too high. The pH was too high. All that stuff was just like right there, and that happened, and it was bad. So we want to make sure we also look ahead and make sure we don't
Pittsburgh's
do that.
been needing some help lately.
Did you drive by the bypass today?
Yes.
Smelly. Yeah.
So I guess my question, Jason, is if things are in such good shape now to start doing this again, why is AMS still out there?
I think that's mostly because ADM is paying for them still.
I understand that, but that tells me that the levels aren't yet where they need to be.
Right. So, that's a whole different
I
discussion.
have a question on that myself. So, based on the sludge levels you sent us.
Did you get new ones recent?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's showing cell 1's at the lowest sludge level it's been all year, essentially. When did we stop the industrial waste?
Must have been in an late email.
That was in
March, April?
April. So in April,
Was
that'd have been, in
30.
May, it was at 36. So it's down almost 11 inches since May in cell 1. Now cell 2 and 3 have actually been higher. Well,
So what do you think's happening?
higher since then. So what's the cause of
So
that?
with all the aeration and the movement through cell one,
It's just moving
the lighter
cell one
stuff
sludge over.
is kind of pushing that sludge into cell two, which we noticed that at the end of their, when they were out there full force, you know, they had all those trailers. And we said, hey, you need to monitor the sludge levels and make sure you keep track of that, because they couldn't, and that, we remember that, again, that was a big deal when they were done and ready to get paid, and we're like, well, you didn't meet your goal. They were, it was close.
I
but-
thought a lot of the stuff that wasn't met were biologicals, though, rocks and other items like that.
We think it's mostly sediment type stuff. It's non-organic. It's not gonna, those bugs aren't gonna impact it. The aeration and movement of the water is gonna push that into cell two.
And even the
that's gonna
AMS
accumulate.
guys agreed with that. They said that
Yeah.
their bugs would never be able to affect. that
So without
non-biological
taking
sludge.
any of that high BOD waste, you know, honestly, AMS isn't needed right now, because you're not taking their waste. So unless you're getting some readings
So,
that are bad, without the ADM, with the high BOD stuff, is cut off, but you're still doing AMS, the bugs,
2 trailers.
are they really, what's their impact now? Are they still eating organics in the sludge? I don't know.
Well, I mean, we've lost 11 inches of sludge.
Right, so.
We've lost 11 inches of sludge, so that's about the
Well,
only thing.
In 3 months, you've lost.
But really, we've transferred the sludge out of cell 1 into cell 2 and 3. That's what we've done. Because of the aeration and the way the flow is going around the baffle curtain, we're kicking up some of that stuff from the bottom, and it's just moving into
'Cause at some
cell
point-
2 and cell 3.
so
The bugs aren't, I think you've hit your peak of what they could do, eating the organics, and they can't eat the inorganics, so.
So a ton of
At
that
some
money
point, it's just
that
gonna stop.
Commissioner Wells is referencing that we got had to go to fix the wastewater treatment plant because of what was happening to it from the results of the ADM and time. I mean, there was time involved too that went with that.
Well, it was
My
kind of,
concern is, let me finish.
Okay.
My concern is that for the first couple of years that I sat on this commission and this was happening, right? And I would ask you, when you would come in here, what is ADM doing to mitigate this? And even now tonight, a couple of years later, you said, I don't know if they're doing
Yeah, I know.
anything yet. So,
I don't think they are.
like I said, we made a pretty good recovery back on this, but yet we've still got AMS trailers out there, who I would like to hear from, actually. I mean, I know you're our engineer, but I'd like to hear from our superintendent on how things are going out there, if he would be willing to come up to the microphone. Because this has been a lot of work and a lot of work in progress, and I don't want to see anything, because we have no guarantee at this point what's going on with ADM. And before you give us kind of your part, Scott, has ADM approached us and said they want to start bringing their industrial waste over here again, Brad?
No, sir.
Okay.
It's a moot point. They don't want to bring it back over here.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I think, you know, Commissioner Van Hookie's concerns are similar to mine. You know, when we got the last update, and I don't know if there's been an update since then, but when you stood at the podium there on 1 April this year, you gave us, you know, handouts with the chart. So I'm looking at the chemical oxygen demand average for ADM quantity and consistency. The limit that's posted here is 1,500. And then in March of this year, the chemical oxygen demand was 35,900.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's staggering.
Yes, sir.
Is it, I mean, we're not taking their stuff now, so, I mean, what's...
We're not taking their industrial
Right.
waste anymore, so we have no idea what it is, and it's not our business. If they're not bringing it to
On their
us, what do
level.
I care what it is?
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not
So
being flippant at you.
No,
I'm
no,
just
I
saying,
understand.
that's not
We have
my
readings-
business.
We have readings on what we have right now
Oh, yeah.
versus what we had back then?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
the domestics.
I'd be curious to see those.
Okay.
I'm sure you can provide, so.
I can.
Yeah.
And they are all within contractual levels.
Okay.
I mean, like BOD, COD are like
Okay.
100, 200, well within limits.
Like I said, from my standpoint, I rely on city staff, city manager, Jason, I'm not cutting on you or anything, but they were out there fighting the fight in the trenches. And I know that there's a lot of pride from this man standing right here at the podium on the condition of his plant. So even to consider this, like I said, I don't think ADM has approached us on it, but I would definitively want to know, have you actually done things over at your facility, or did you just find somebody else to take this stuff and have it shipped to?
And that's kind of I guess, coming all the way back around to why ADM's on the agenda is, as Matthew said, it was a good revenue source for a while, and it turned bad, obviously. So I guess what we're gonna do is, if we wanted to go and talk to ADM as Earl's Engineering, we didn't want to do that without you knowing that.
No.
So it's kind of, if they need help and we can help them, that maybe ultimately in a year or two, they've got their stuff fixed and you could get that revenue stream back and not hurt your lagoon. That's kind of what we're thinking.
Well,
So
I don't
if I
see
may-
just you guys going, I'd like,
If I could have the mic for just a minute. So the news manager over there, Steve, I don't know how you say his name, Tuzak or something like that. Really, really good guy. Really straight shooter, and I appreciate that. And I had a meeting with him in mid-August. He came over with his boss. And first thing out of his mouth was, first thing I want to tell you is, you're not going to receive ADM industrial waste anymore. We're done with that portion of the relationship. He said, we would like it if you would still take our domestic waste. And really, the domestic, for whatever reasons, maybe it's because they're a corporation or something, it's harder for them to get rid of, than the industrial. But he said, I'd appreciate it if you keep taking our domestic, and we'll keep buying the reuse water, the effluent, which we have a pipeline from us to them for that. And so at that time, we had 6 AMS trailers here. 2 of them had been contracted in April to be here for a year. And you guys approved that contract. And then we had 4 more that was on I don't know, it must have been a month-by-month basis or whatever. And so at that time, we prorated those 4 trailers out. I think it was at the September 1st, okay? And so AMS came and got those 4 trailers, and he said, well, we'll keep paying for the 2 trailers until April of '26. But, I mean, I don't know. He was unequivocal. I mean, you're not going to get our industrial anymore.
they found someone else that will take the shipments.
Well, I don't know. That's not my business.
I know.
I mean, it's got to be
assuming.
going somewhere.
We don't think they're keeping it there.
No, they're not keeping it. It's going somewhere, but I didn't ask
Yeah.
because that's not my business.
I drive up and down 54 all the time. If they were keeping everything there, we would have.
Yeah, we'd
followed
know.
The paint would be peeling off your car.
But I understand you guys' unique situation and looking for revenue. I understand that. In my personal opinion and professional opinion, I don't think trying to shove industrial waste in a municipal water plant is the way to do it. If you choose to do it, build an industrial wastewater plant.
Purpose-built.
purposefully build an industrial wastewater plant and leave your municipal plant alone. It's working. Let it, okay? But, you know, if, you guys, you're building a $65 million plant down in Pittsburgh, and it'll accept industrial waste?
Right now, it stinks like hell when you drive by it.
That one's always stunk.
Yeah.
It's really bad now.
It stunk when I was in college. No. Yeah.
But
It's never not stunk.
Does anyone have any more questions or comments for Scott?
I mean, in December of 2021, Earl's Engineering presented the upgrades needed to make the water treatment plant be able to process the industrial waste from ADM. The money that we spent out there, yes, some of it was on needed upgrades because of age, but a lot of the money that we spent and what we put into that place was to make it able to process that. And so it's an investment that we made. I'm asking that we do our due diligence and allow our engineers, along with our city manager, to broach a conversation to see the possibility. There's a good chance, like Scott says, that they're going to tell us to go pound sand. But we don't know if we don't start the conversation. It may be 4 years before they're willing to allow us to make.
I thought they
some of that
already
money.
told us they weren't interested.
We haven't asked them.
Isn't that what they told you, Scott, that they've already got another place, they're not interested?
No, we
But
haven't-
if they're
we
going to
haven't
go in
asked
there, Scott is our director of our, yeah. And Brad need to be there.
We didn't want to talk to them about you guys.
I'm one commissioner, but I don't support industrial waste going into our plant.
I don't either.
Simple as that.
I don't
Not a
either.
fan.
I don't believe that's what it was built for. I know it was used for that, but in my opinion, I don't think it should be used for that again.
I think we were lucky to recover last time.
Well, like I said, we're still not fully recovered. We got AMS trailers out there.
Right.
Yes, but the AMS trailers are not needed. They're not doing anything.
Well, they are. Yeah, they are.
I can have them come to a meeting and talk to you about that if that's your opinion, but I didn't say that your opinion's educated facts.
They were here before, and explained what they did.
I know that they did agree that their bugs cannot affect the non-organic solids.
Well, I mean, think about that,
that's
Matthew. How can a
always-
bug eat a piece of sand?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's just a moot point. Obviously, it can't
Non-organic's
eat
gonna be there
inorganic.
Right.
Regardless.
No,
I understand.
I completely understand that.
Until
That's
this
exactly what I-
commission
That's
dredges it.
exactly what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but the one thing I do remember about that is they had given an estimated level that they thought they could get to,
And they never were able to get to it.
because per our engineering, what was left were the biologics that were there, but yet there were members of this commission that voted not to pay them in
Not the
full.
biologics, the inorganics.
The organics.
Inorganic.
There were members of this commission that voted, I'm amazed they came back, voted not to pay them the full amount because they didn't reach that level due to the organics.
Well, that was the contract that they had.
You gotta realize, when this all started, and our town smelled like poo, and we said, hey, by gosh, it smells like money. No, it smelled like crap. We were at 120 inches of poo in Lagoon 1. We're at 24.79 inches right now. I think those bugs are pretty good. I think they've done a good job.
No, they did. They
And
did exactly what they
if
were-
you look
what
at
they were
your-
supposed to do.
Look at what I gave you today. In 2 months, it went down 6 inches.
Well,
on cell
no,
one.
what it did was it transferred it to cell
It
2
doesn't,
and 3.
no, not necessarily, because cell 2 went down.
Yep.
And cell 3 went down. It's all went down.
They've gone
They're-
down. They're just higher than they were to start the year.
Yeah, they're higher than they were. They were at 9, now 12. They were at 17, they're at
It's because we
20.
had so much in cell 1, it has to go, some of it has to go somewhere.
Well,
That's
I mean,
exactly
just like earlier, you guys were talking about some waterway that needed repaired, because water's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
And it moves things, it gets in its way.
Exactly.
Well, all that water, when it comes to our plant, if right now we're handling about 900,000 to 1 million gallons a day of wastewater, okay? And when it rains, that shoots up to 10 to 11 million, sometimes more. And we had a lot of rain. And there's only so much that's going to go through the activated sludge part of the plant, okay? After that, it goes over a wall and goes into the lagoons, okay? And if that water's going into the lagoon here, yeah, whatever was in lagoon number 1 is going to go to 2 and 3. I mean, it's just going to push it. So, I mean, is it fair to say AMS is doing no good? I don't think so. I mean, it's physics. It moves things.
Well, based on a lot of the comments, I personally, if we need a motion, I'll make it. I'd move that we do not reopen talks with ADM to take their industrial waste or have the city engineer go meet with them at this time.
Seconded.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
I would like to point out that in September of 2022, when I was allowed to be a part of the discussions, that ADM was willing to purchase our storage tanks. They were willing to dredge lagoon number 1. And so,
Commissioner Wells,
I'm
we
a
talked
no.
about this.
Yes, we did.
They went through a whole different.
that's fine.
Management crew.
All
and they said they will.
all I was asking is that our engineers be allowed to talk to them.
And so far, you've got 3
Yes,
votes.
and I'm saying why I'm voting no.
Okay.
Because we should be allowed to talk to them.
You should, and we respect that, absolutely.
Tracy Dancer.
What was the motion now?
It was whether or not that the voting not to reopen the possibility for taking industrial waste or having the engineering firm approach ADM with that.
Yeah. Do not.
So that'd be a yes.
Yes.
Good.
Hey, while you're up there, I mean, we're at reports and comments. We'll go
Okay,
ahead
yeah.
and let you kick it off.
Just update for the bid on Davis Lift Station. That was set to open on the 9th.
Oh, can I interrupt you one moment?
Yep.
You're still here, so you're going to get this. Happy birthday, Scott. Today's Scott's birthday.
Oh.
And look where he spent 3 hours of it tonight.
Oh, my goodness.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
So anyway, go ahead, Jason.
Well, happy birthday, Mr. Mayor, too. And Scott. Oh. Okay, so back to, Davis Lift Station. We got a lot of feedback from contractors. There's some complexities to the wet well and the deep foundations and shoring up the retaining walls and a lot of things that aren't necessarily normal for sewer work. So 2 or 3 of them asked for additional time, so we moved the bid to October 30th. And then went through and answered a bunch of questions and clarifications. So that was submitted Friday. So they're still looking at that. I'm thinking we have for sure probably 3 good bidders at this point. So, but they're going through it more and checking all that stuff that's not really sewer stuff. So, so that's good there. The other project, National Avenue, slowly moving. We've kind of set it down a little bit for some other things, but we've got all the survey we need to continue that. Just moving forward on all of those. The C-Clip on Wall Street. I think they keep kicking those bids month to month. So I think they now want it to bid in March of 26, I think, so.
When are they slated to start the project?
So if they bid in March.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, so usually it's a 60 to 90 days from the bid to construction starting, so. That being concrete, they're not as limited to the season stuff, but. So, and you guys did get.
Any idea of time frame of how long it's going to take them?
I'd have to look, but if memory serves, I think I was tacking 9 months on for that job.
6 to 9 months
Yeah.
per section.
For phase 1 and 2, for the 2. Yeah, and we're cognizant of that. If there's school, we can make them wait till May.
How we gonna get
Traffic's a bear. Yeah.
direct traffic on Third for sure during
I'll do it.
those several months?
Give me a
I mean,
reflective
just to keep flow going, probably on Sixth Street too.
Yeah. Yes, it will remain open to traffic, but
It'll be
Not
slow.
to truck
it'll be
traffic.
slowed down.
Aren't they supposed to put a detour out there at Eve? Send them up?
We'll see what KDOT, I think we presented it, because normally KDOT is like no detours, two-way traffic at all times. So we'll see what they say. But it's such that we can make it work, but, they're all slowed down, they're all channelized into, 10.5-foot lanes.
Yeah.
So it gets tight.
Yeah, but they gotta dig up the bricks and the base and all that.
So, a lot of stuff. And the railroad's gonna be involved, so that's another wrinkle. So, that was another deal on Davis, I forgot. We were a little worried about that old spur line that runs along the lagoons.
Mhm.
There's no rail in it anymore, but I think it's still BNSF properties, so we've reached out to them, and now they're making me wait 2 weeks, so there shouldn't be anything to impact us there, but they might make us put that 18-inch force main inside a steel casing pipe at the worst, which is normal, but what else? Oh, you guys did sign and accept phase 3, so that's kind of pending for Wall Street. So we'll probably talk about that maybe, hopefully next month sometime. But any questions of me?
You said you were gonna get together a presentation on the items for Commissioner Olson and the rest of the commission?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Slurry seal, sort of micro seal.
Kind of everything you always wanted to know about
Well, I'd
chip
rather.
seal, cape seal. Well, I think that's great. I look forward to seeing it. All right, Mr. Farmer.
Not a thing, Mayor.
Not a thing. City clerk. I always give her the option. She's never got anything. City manager.
Got a couple things, then I'll need executive sessions.
Yep.
Last week, I do believe Commissioner Wells probably let me know if it was, I think it was last week, I talked to the railroad. I think that's when we were having so much trouble with the train stopping on the track during, the worst time of the day is at school time and the school commute. I have talked to a couple people from the railroad. I've drafted a letter to send to the railroad about this, and about how safety concerns and how much congestion and how much it goes down to safety more than anything. I mean, yeah, it's an inconvenience, but it's a safety concern more than anything. And so we've been working on that. I have not seen too many. Have you seen any in the last 4, 5, 6 days?
There was one on a Friday, but they didn't have school. So
Okay.
Yep.
in the morning.
And then
So-
they've doubled up a couple times. They have not stopped like they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will talk to Chief Picker. We are gonna, when we can catch, if we don't have any other calls, we will go to Third Street and direct traffic so we can get people through there quicker, because that's where the holdup is. Plus it goes all the way to Eugene Ware and really causes problems. And that's where another safety concern comes, because there's kids.
I think the biggest
getting
problem
out
is
of
if you can just get them flowing at the bypass when it happens, you'll clear it all out within an hour.
Keeps on flowing.
Yeah.
And as a city, I mean, that's really the only thing we can do.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
no control over the railroad.
We do not.
Unless we want to enforce that really old ordinance and go yank them off the train and throw them.
That probably wouldn't set very well. You talk about losing revenue, that would lose revenue.
The court didn't think much of it.
They didn't.
This past weekend, participated in some Gordon Parks celebration and festivities. Just to let you five know, there is Dr. Michael Cheers wrote a book. It's mostly a picture book.
Yep.
It's an awesome book. A lot of stories of Fort Scott in there. A lot of pictures of people from Fort Scott. But more exciting than that is he is directing, and he's already done it, a movie. He showed the trailer at one of the classes out to Gordon Parks, and of course I've been here all my life, but there was not a dry eye in the place. And that was only 6 minutes. So I told my wife I'm not sure if I'm going to go watch an hour's worth. I don't know if I can handle that. But it is it is the history of Fort Scott, and it's pretty awesome. And I hope we can get at least the trailer. I'm hoping to get that this week, and I'll show it on Facebook and some other areas. And then the hour-long movie will be out in the spring, and it'll be a fundraiser for Gordon Parks. But it was a good weekend with Gordon Parks plus Pioneer Harvest Fiesta. Good showing out there. You could probably hear it throughout town. I mean, it was really good. It was a good weekend in Fort Scott, good weather. So that's all I've got. We'll cover the rest later.
All right. Commissioner Salisbury.
I do not have anything.
Commissioner Olson.
No comments.
Commissioner Dancer.
Yeah, few things. Brad, do we have an update on the Moody Building?
Yes, we do. Would you like to hear him?
If you can keep it quick.
No, he was just asking.
So, there's a little bit of movement. I talked to the owner at least once, maybe twice a week, just to keep pushing that. We've got barricades blocking the alleyway. They have talked to someone about possibly buying the building. They are working through that, totally off the city market. Right now, they're looking at engineering reports, so I'm not sure where it's going to go from there, but that's a little bit of ray of sunshine, see what happens.
Okay.
I'll go ahead if you don't mind, I'll give you an update on the barbershop. So Leroy and I had a phone conversation with a gentleman that is interested in the building, not saying he's going to purchase it, but he was interested in it, talked to the real estate agent, and they're kind of in the same situation. They're wanting to look at the engineering report and see what has to be done to make this. He had a heck of a story. I can't go into it, but he told me some history of the building that I did not know about that building. So if you ever want to look up that building when it was newer, I guess, pretty interesting. But yeah, two bright things about those buildings. Hopefully we can get something going.
Okay. Let's see here. Can we please make sure that we follow through on the updates to the previously posted agendas to include the handouts to the commission that weren't included in the posted agendas?
Was there something missing?
Yeah, specifically the agenda from April 1st of this year, the charts that Scott Flater presented to the
Those are
commission.
on the website.
Yeah, I checked them tonight. I didn't see them.
Well.
Yeah, not in the
I will check,
agenda
but I
that's
know
posted.
that I did put them there.
Okay. We've got a lot of work sessions already, but we had talked about establishing a work session to review contractual services and contract management.
I've got Devin working on those.
Okay.
Now we have that. Whenever you want to start doing them, we can.
Okay.
Devin's working to get
Maybe
them. So
prior to the, did we set one tonight for the 21st?
Yes.
We already did, right? Okay.
Next one would be November 3rd.
Yeah.
A Monday.
We
it
do.
won't take very long. I mean, there's not very many of them.
Okay. Are you guys free on November 3rd?
Well, yeah, we're going to be here.
Well, yeah. 5 o'clock?
Might as well.
Okay.
You don't take football teams, do you?
No, I've got,
Okay.
I have board meetings that night, but I'll get it
If,
moved.
and if we have time
5 o'clock?
that night, yeah. Yeah, if you say it's not going to take long, it's still in the same spirit. We talked previously about a work session to establish the terms of the service level agreement for IT support.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see here. And one last thing, the CEO of CCAP contacted me this past week. May 7th, this commission voted to support the CCAP BB Go, the bus, general public transportation, in the amount of $5,000.
Correct.
And we pledged that support, but when I spoke to the CEO this past week, he said that they still have not received that.
I talked to Kimberly last week. It's been paid. So
Okay.
I'll go back and check.
If you
I
double check on that.
remember it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was on an expense report.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll go back and
Yep.
make sure.
Okay. All right, thank you. That's all I got.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Wells.
Did want to touch base on the 3rd Street and the 12th Street light. Did we ever get CDL to take a look at those?
12th Street light is actually working. It's the sensor from the sun.
Okay.
It's working. We also had somebody talk to us about, I'm not exactly what it's called. It's the light in between the two lights that signal, there's probably a specific name. I called the state about that.
The little timer?
We're at their mercy on that.
Okay.
3rd Street, CDL has been called, they have not been.
Okay.
But it's the same situation. It's a sensor.
Okay. All right. I do want to say thank you, Commissioner Salisbury. That thing is comprehensive and chock full, and you did an amazing job on it.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
I mean, it is really full of a lot of stuff. That's why I want to spend a little more time
Thank you.
going through it. So thank you for all your hard work on that. I appreciate it. I also want to say thank you to Kirk Sharp, everybody that participated in anything to do with the Gordon Park celebration over the last week and the weekend. That man just went out of his way to put on some amazing things, get a lot of amazing things accomplished with the church dedication, with the new mural, all of that. We have a true treasure in that man, and I just wanted to take a moment and just say thank you, Kirk, for everything that you did to make that such a huge success to honor Gordon Parks. And along that line, I want to say thank you to Kababi for coming. Kababi Bayok was the one who did the First Kansas mural down next to the fort, and he also did the mural for the Gordon Parks. And just wanted to say thank you, Kababi, for blessing our town once again with your talents and your efforts on such a beautiful
Amazing
mural.
color.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to stop down to the corner of Wall Street in Maine, check it out. It's a beautiful sentiment. The painting is beautiful. The words, just everything about it. And so, also wanted to ask everyone to continue to be in prayer for our Fort employees. A lot of those people live here in town. Currently, they're all furloughed without pay. They don't know if they will have jobs in the coming weeks. There's words coming through the pipeline that quite a few of them are going to get fired. So just be praying for them and lift them up, and we'll hope that everything works out for the best. And pray for all the government employees right now who are stuck in this bad position. I mean, that's one thing I can say about this commission here. We don't always agree, but we're always here at the table. We're always willing to negotiate with each other. We're always willing to hear each other's sides and not call each other idiots and radicals and all the stupidity that we.
Well, not in public anyway.
That's true. So,
Save the street fights for after.
that's right. So just keep in mind that this affects a lot of people who do jobs simply because they love this country and
they love things about this country, and they're the ones caught in the crossfire right now. So be in prayer and remembrance for them. So
One thing about your Gordon Parks talk, the AME Church Memorial over on Loman. It's a beautiful, and I got to be part of the committee, but I didn't do anything, so I just went to the meetings. But something about that, and this is something that doesn't get seen very often. And yes, Kirk Sharp, amazing. I mean, everything the guy does is amazing, but it's the neighborhood around that. Those neighbors saw that beautiful park, and it took some time, and Leroy could probably tell you more, but those neighbors have started cleaning up their area because of that park. And that is a testament. And we even had a citizen, a resident right there that had a lot of trash out in their yard. And Craig Campbell, who does tremendous things, tremendous work for everybody too, asked this person, hey, if you want, let's load that truck or load all that trash in my truck. I'll take it to the dump. He said, no, it's my trash. I'll do it. Next day, gone. So it's a testament of, people see things and they take care of it. And that is what Fort Scott's about. And that's a great testament. But yeah, Kirk Sharp and his volunteers knocked it out of the park. So can't wait till next year.
Is that it? Sir. Thank you, and thank you also. My understanding is the system of rigging the new mural to the building. They gave you many props for that down there, so great job. Then, it was a great weekend. I mean, I got a chance to be a small part of a portion of it, and it was an honor to be there. And again, I talked to a lot of the volunteers afterwards, too. Matter of fact, some of them were in here tonight. Kurt Suntrey, Angel Wilson, Gene Smith, a lot of those folks. Great event. So with that, I mean, we are running long here, so I know that...
Need 7 minutes.
You need 2, though. You need
Let's make the first one 5 minutes.
the first one 5 minutes,
That's all I
with or without the attorney.
With the attorney.
Okay.
Let's go. What do you, attorney client, probably? I don't know, you guys. You know what it's about.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, attorney client, you know what it's about. That's what I think it's
Yeah.
about.
Okay, I move the city commission move recess into executive session for the purpose of discussing attorney-client privilege exception in KSA 754319B2. In the meeting will be the 5 city commissioners and the city attorney in the city manager's office. We will reconvene in here in 5 minutes, which would be at 9:22.
Seconded.
Dylan Olson?
Yes.
Matthew Wells?
Yes.
J.T. Dancer?
Yes.
Tim Valley?
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury?
Yes.
Move to come out of executive session.
Second.
Seconded?
Tracy second.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer.
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
Okay, move the city commission recess in executive session for the purpose of personal matters of non-elected personnel exception in KSA 754319B1. In the meeting will be the city manager and just the 5 city commissioners for 5 minutes, and we should be back in this room at 9:28.
Second.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Yes.
Tracy Dancer.
Yes.
And we will not be coming out with action for elected personnel.
Where did Bob go? Now, see, you're creating a suspicion.
That's a big factor in the water. But once it gets out in the system, then you're at the mercy of some old pipes.
And I did look it up, I just didn't write it down.
part of it, right?
And Lisa, have we heard from the attorney,
We do have one of them.
Who's that?
the tax sale attorney? I can't get him to call me back. Susan can't get him to call me back, her back. It's supposed to have a tax sale in October.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it.
We're a third of the way through.
I don't know.
I'll call her again. She was out today, she had surgery on his eye, so.
Midnight on the 30th. And she's been right now, that one that is. So that week before we got, Ernst got up, we walked through the Zoom building, try to get some info on replacement parts. It's all kind of crunched. So last day, she's like,
Move to come out of executive session.
Seconded.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Owen Olson,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Motion to adjourn?
Seconded.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury.
Yes.
Owen Olson.
Yes.